he looks like a ball player. He's a heck of a football player and a heck of a baseball player, and he is going to play collegiately at a school for baseball-wise, Wright State. So
same place Ryan Fusey played.
So he's a heck of an athlete. He could have probably played collegiately football as well.
He was a great running back at Beechwood. Today it's Beechwood in Montgomery County. Montgomery County, it's been a long time since they've been here, 42 years as a matter of fact. 1977 they were in the, if you call this a state tournament, it's really semi-state. So if they win this game, they'll play in the state tournament next week at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, home of the Lexington Legends. And it's going to be high school baseball this afternoon. And we'll be back here on PrepSpin.com, the Mingy Beef Jerky high school baseball game of the week with the starting lineups and the first pitch here between Beechwood and Montgomery County. Welcome back here to Kentucky Proud Park. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas and William Warfield, and it's high school baseball. Today it will be Beechwood against Montgomery County. And so Beechwood, the Tigers coming in 37-1. Montgomery County, what's the overall record for Montgomery, Darren?
I had to look that up again. I thought I'd put it down on the sheet there.
Montgomery County, they will start today. Seth Adams, he doesn't have a lot of velocity. 8.3 record, 1.82 ERA for Montgomery County. Beechwood will go with their ace, Carter Noah, 12-0. Outstanding ERA for him. And you look at Beechwood, they only lost one game to Fort Thomas Highlands. That was at Great American Ballpark. And they agreed to play their freshmen. And then Highlands snuck two seniors in on them late. One of them got the game-winning hit, so if you want to know how that worked out.
Oh, yeah.
So a little gamesmanship there by Highlands in that one. But Beechwood did, that's their only loss of the year. Beechwood comes in, they're playing a tough schedule up there in northern Kentucky. You know, you look at Highlands and Covington Catholic, Newport Catholic, and all the teams up there, Campbell County and northern Kentucky. And they got through that schedule fairly easily. They do have, as we said, they got more than Logan Castleman. They've got Devin Johnson, who hits close to 500, and they've got Johnny Odom, who hits about 480, and also has 58 runs, 63 runs, 58 hits. That's a young man that can hit the baseball as well. They got three really big bats there when you look at Castleman, Odom, and Johnson.
They do, and 28-9 is Montgomery County's record coming in, so it's a really good record. Also playing in that 10th region, of course, which houses Campbell County, but of course perennial power Harrison County as well. In that, both these teams are really feel-good stories. It's been a little while since Beechwood had gotten out of the 9th region. They did that this year. It has been a long time for Montgomery County with 42 years between region titles. When you go from 1977, the last time Montgomery County had a team that was a region titleist. So a feel-good story. They've been a perennial contender in the 10th region year in and year out. The problem has been they've run into Harrison County for the most part. There were a couple of years, I think Mason County came out of that region. Bourbon County at one time came out of that region as well. So
Harrison County's the powerhouse there in the 10th region.
So, and so both these teams have to feel good to be here. Although I do know they want to go deeper in the postseason than just being happy to get here.
We'll check the lineups for you. The umpires this afternoon will be Matt Brandenburg, the home plate umpires. James Burton will be the first base. Mark Harvey will be at second, and Aaron Haney will be the third base umpire. Let's take a look at Beechwood. Johnny Odom will lead off for the Tigers, play shortstop. Logan Castleman, the center fielder, will bat second. Aiden Hutton, the designated hitter. Devin Johnson will be out in left field, back cleanup. He's a young man we talked about already. Dylan Doverspike will be the first baseman. He's hitting .424, so he's a good bat as well. Marcus Berger, the right fielder, will bat sixth. Jackson Knoll at third base, batting in the 7-hole. Clay Trusty, the catcher, batting eighth. Preston Hamilton, the second baseman, batting ninth. And Noah Carter out on the mound for the Beechwood Tigers today. Montgomery County, they will counter with Tyler Jacobs at first base, Brendan Dyer at shortstop, Luke Fuller at second base, Devin Johnson, the designated hitter, Jay Eads in right field, Seth Adams, the pitcher, Tyler Eads in center field, Braxton Hunley, the catcher, and Trevor Igo. I'm sure he's related to the Igo girl that plays basketball there and was at Clark County, was a tremendous basketball player for George Roger Clark. Is there some relation there?
That I'm not sure.
So it's Beechwood and Montgomery County. We thank you for watching here on PrepSpin.com and Digital Network. We're just about set for the national anthem and the first pitch here between Beechwood and Montgomery County. Tigers 37-1. Montgomery County with Darren said 28 wins on the season.
28-9.
So just about set. This is Kentucky Proud Ballpark, campus of the University of Kentucky.
Today's national anthem is performed by Grayson Thurman, a 2019 graduate from host Franklin County High School.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red-glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason.
We're just about set for baseball here at Beechwood and Montgomery County in the first game of the semi-state. Second game tonight will be the Tates Creek Commodores as They would take on the Somerset Briar Jumpers. That's the nickname everybody likes. That's one of the favorite nicknames I've heard in high school sports, the Briar Jumpers. From Somerset High, the high school that brought us Bob Cranfield. And that's enough right there, if you can produce Bob Cranfield.
Well, you also go back to UK football, back under Jerry Claiborne, a guy by the name of Tony Massey. Pretty quarterback in high school. Being a pretty fair defensive end in that wide tackle six, Jerry Claiborne. So
Seth Adams will be on the mound for Montgomery County. Will set their defense for you. They're already out on the field, and the coaches are meeting at home plate here to talk about the ground rules. And Darren Douglas, we got 320 down the lines here at Kentucky Proud Park and 400 in deep center, and that is a poke out there in straight center.
That's called the dead zone. I mean, we saw a couple of balls here in the 11th Region Championship game hit into that area, and any center fielder worth their salt is going to be able to go out and get that. That's going to take an extra effort from a hitter to get one out of that way, out straight away center field on this field. The ball just doesn't carry that well, especially for a high school kid. Although we see some high school kids that look like they should be already in college that are built that way.
You know, Johnny Odom leads off for Beechwood. Just looking down here at some of his numbers, he has scored 63 runs. That's right, 63 runs on the season. And he's hitting .479. Stolen base. He has not been thrown out one time stealing bases, 27 of 27. And this young man is a great table setter for Beechwood in that leadoff spot for the Tigers, Johnny Odom.
Yeah, and you got behind him, you got Castleman. And,
I bet he gets a lot of good pitches.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they are 60 of 64 combined in the stolen bases, and Castleman's been caught 4 times. I'd like to meet the catchers who have caught Castleman running the bases and stealing the bases.
Castleman and Odom have combined, listen to this, 131 runs they've scored this season. That's incredible.
That means they're on base, and the guys behind them are driving them in.
It's Seth Adams' job to get them out here. He's going to be the pitcher, 8-3 record. Darren, 1.82. What can you tell us about Mr. Adams?
Well, Mr. Adams, if you got the, let me give the.
I thought you had.
No, you got the pitching stats right there, and I'll give it to you here. Mr. Adams, as we mentioned, this is his 17th appearance. He's his 9th start. He's got a 1.82 earned run average in 61 2/3 innings. He's given up 42 hits, 25 runs, 16 of them earned. He's walked 16, struck out 68. As you mentioned, he's won 8 games, lost 3, and he saved 6.
Yeah, so he's involved in 14 victories. Half of their victories, they won 28 games. Mm-hmm. He's responsible for half of them.
Yeah, and and that's what you'll see down at the high school level. If you have 2 good pitchers, it's a luxury. If you have 1 good one, you're lucky. If you have 2, it's a luxury. If you have 3, you've hit the gold mine. And there are not many high school teams that will have 3 quality pitchers. But right now, what Adams is going to have to do is, just by looking at some of the numbers from Beechwood on the year offensively, he's going to have to throw first pitch strikes.
Yeah.
He's going to have to get ahead of the hitters. He's going to have to change the eye level too.
And that's a problem for him early on. He does walk some folks. He has trouble finding the plate early on. And the key today is for him to be on. Let's look at the defensive alignment for the Montgomery County Ball Club. Eagles out in left field, Eads in center and right. That's Tyler and Jay. And tell us about the Eads brothers out there.
Well, the Eads brothers are dynamite on the football field as well, but they're you'd think, with both their size, by looking at the rosters, they're not overly big gentlemen. They're both 6'1", but they go probably about the 150, 160-pound range, and they'll put on more weight, but they're going to play college football up in Moorhead for the Eagles in Moorhead State.
Around the infield, Huff's at left, and at third base, Dyer's at short, Fuller's at second, and Tyler Jacobs is your first baseman. Seth Adams on the mound, Hundley behind the dish.
Here's an interesting, right off the bat, if our viewers can see, Gary, looks like a slow pitch outfield for softball. 4 outfielders. No second baseman.
Yep. And they're pulled around for Johnny Odom, the shortstop, leading off. We talked about his .479 batting average. Adams looks in the first pitch, and that's going to be a call strike. So he starts him out with a strike to Johnny Odom. Logan Castleman, the 619 hitter, 619 with Aiden Hutton on deck, the designated hitter here in the first inning. Just underway. First pitch was a strike, and the second pitch is going to be high and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike here at Kentucky Proud Ballpark, home of the University of Kentucky. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas and the King of Stream, William Moorfield. Here's a 1-1 coming to Odom, and he's going to look at it. Just missed outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Who set our home plate umpires, Matt Brandenburg. 2 balls, 1 strike to Odom with Castleman on deck. Castleman's going to Wright State University. Here's the pitch, and ball popped up, and it's going to be the right center fielder. There's 4 of them out there, and he is going to make the grab in his track out there. 1 out, so I've never seen that alignment in baseball.
We talk about a shift in the majors and colleges. This is the ultimate shift.
How do you score it?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, he is probably the center fielder by trade.
Okay. So fly to 8. 1
Because
out
he's
brings
a lefty.
up Logan Castleman, a right-handed hitter, facing Adams here for the Beechwood Tigers against Montgomery County. You're watching it here on Prep Spin and the FHS Network. Here's the pitch, and Castleman looks at a strike on the inside corner. So he's ahead on Logan Castleman, a 619 hitter. Castleman on the season, also 7 home runs, has scored 68 runs, has 60 hits, and pulls that one foul down toward the third base side, and he's ahead on the count. Logan Castleman, also a great running back on that football team.
Just look at the young man in his body build. I mean, he looks like a football player / baseball player. He really does.
1 out. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be – that just
He
missed.
didn't miss by
All-speed pitch. He threw him a breaking ball, and that just missed outside. That nearly rung up Mr. Castleman.
Well, Mr. Brandenburg, the plate umpire, did flinch like he was going to ring him up.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Castleman with Hutton on deck. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a fastball miss outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We got a good crowd here for this game. It's a 4 o'clock game with Beechwood and Montgomery County. We'll have a great crowd tonight with Tates Creek out of Lexington as they play Somerset at 7 o'clock. We got that game right here on Prep Spin. Here's a 2-2, and Castleman chops it off the plate area and touched in foul territory. He was hustling to the ball because he thought if he touched it in fair territory, it would have been foul. I think that was a foul ball at the plate.
Well, Castleman still the plate umpire. Didn't I foul it off my foot?
Yeah.
But he's not acting like he fouled it off his foot. So I fouled many a ball off that front plant foot, and that hurts.
Odom flew out to center field to open the ball game. Logan Castleman. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a ball low to Castleman, so he's run it full. Has Seth Adams, the 8-3 pitcher for Montgomery County here in the first inning. Thanks to Mingy Beef Jerky, our title sponsor. 3-2 pitch, and ball 4. Boy, that's a good at-bat by Logan Castleman, and that's something else he's great at, drawing base on balls. That's his 32nd base on balls.
He knows the strike zone inside and out.
And he runs bases, 33 of 37 stolen bases.
Now we're going to flip-flop and get to the regular. Holy cow.
So they'll move the.
It's the first baseman was playing right center field, so call it F3.
So that brings up Aiden Hutton.
Now, how would you like to be number 20 for Montgomery County, be in charge of whose glove is where and when to take it out? And
Castleman held on by Jacobs at first base. He drew the base on balls after getting behind, no balls and 2 strikes. He's at first. Hutton at the plate. Seth Adams, that pitch is going to be a strike on the outside corner. Good pitch by Seth Adams of Montgomery County.
Right now you see that Adams is staying away from the Beechwood hitters, and he's changing speeds. He's not an overpowering pitcher.
Wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
1 out.
But stay down if you're going to go out there.
Castleman off and going. It's hit back to the pitcher. He's going to have 1 play to first. Throws him out at first. Castleman does advance down to second base. He was off and running, and that ball was hit sharply back to the pitcher. And Adams, he fields that mound pretty good out there.
Yeah, he would have not, even if he'd fielded it cleanly, he would not have had a shot at Castleman at second. He got a really good jump on
Seth Adams.
They're going to put Johnson on.
Why not?
with the intentional walk. So
he gets the intentional walk. He goes down to first. That brings up Dover Spike. Dillon, 424 hitter.
As a pitcher, you hate that because it goes against your stats.
You walk a 495 hitter, and then you face a 424 hitter.
Yeah, well, but you don't. Johnson is their run producer. He's the guy that knocks these guys in ahead of him.
So runners at first and second. Dover Spike at the plate. First baseman, left-handed hitter against Seth Adams. This is the first threat. There are 2 outs here in this top of the first inning. Beechwood and Montgomery County. Here's the pitch, and popped up. Dover Spike hits it shallow left field, going back to shortstop. Makes a nice grab as he's backpedaling into left field. So Dover Spike pops up to the shortstop. That's the third out for Beechwood. No runs. They get no hits. They leave 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Beechwood, Montgomery County here on the Mingy Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week. Back at Kentucky Proud Ballpark, Gary Ball with Darren Douglas, the king of stream. Leading off, Tyler Jacobs from Montgomery County in the bottom of the first, and Brandon Dyer, the shortstop. Luke Fuller, the second baseman. Devin Johnson batting cleanup. Jay Eads batting fifth. Seth Adams, the pitcher, batting sixth. Tyler Eads, center fielder. Braxton Hunley in the 8-hole, and Trevor Igo, left fielder. They're facing Carter Noah, 12-0, 1.55 ERA. He looks in now, and the first pitch is the call strike, outside corner. Johnson's out on left, Castleman's in center, Berger's in right. Nola's at third, Odom's at short, Hamilton at second, Dover Spike at first. And that pitch is going to be low. Good block by Carter, by Clay Trusty, the catcher for Beechwood. Pitch is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Tyler Jacobs. Here's the 2-1, and that's hit toward left field. And going back will be the left fielder into the alley out there, makes the grab. A grab by Johnson out in the left, 1 out. Well, Johnson had to go a long way for that ball.
He did, and when the left fielder goes out of our view, be patient with us when it goes down to that left field corner, because about the last, 45, 50 feet from
is obstructed by us, our view up here in the box.
Just with that jutted end of the stadium, comes out.
Brandon Dyer fouls it down the third base line. Shortstop, 364 hitter. By the way, he got a 500 hitter when he got Tyler Jacobs, did Carter Noah. Noah, a big right-hander, looks much bigger than they list him. Swing and a miss. Fouls it back to the screen. Montgomery County and Beechwood. It'll be Tates Creek tonight, battling Somerset. 1 out. Tyler Jacobs flew out to left field, hit it well. Brandon Dyer, and that pitch is way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luke Fuller on deck for Montgomery County here in the bottom half of the first inning. No score. Here's the pitch, and a ball hit over second base. Second going back and short, and he drops it as he was looking at the shortstop. Cardinal sin. He looked at his shortstop to see what he was going to do, and he drops a baseball. That'll be what, an E on 4?
I might have to check and see what our official scorers do. They put it down as a hit.
That was generous.
Yes, sir.
So base hit for Dyer. That's the first base hit of the game for Montgomery County.
But it's the good folks at WL Stanley and her staff. They do a great job, so I'm not going to question her judgment. Now, she has the authority to go back and change it later if she wants.
Luke Fuller, the number 3 hitter, throw over to first.
That's a pretty good move from Carter Noah over to first base.
Check of the runner. Pitch pulled down toward third. Good play by the third baseman. Fires over the infield, and he is going to be out as he just tagged him. He had to tag him. The first baseman, Doverspike, was pulled off the bag by the throw by Noel, and as he saw him coming down, and he reached out with a glove and just got Fuller.
Coach Varney going to question it with the plate umpire. Nice footwork over there by Doverspike to get the baseball and then have the wherewithal to come back and try to make the tag.
Dyer moves on down to second on that throw by the third baseman, Noel. There are 2 outs here at the bottom of the first. Runner in scoring position now for Montgomery County. Pitch to the plate, and that's going to be a ball low from Carter Noah. 12-0, that's a pretty good record.
Yeah. He's no doubt been the ace of Beechwood throughout the season.
Foul back to the screen. Good rip there by Devin Johnson, a .354 hitter, a designated hitter. Yeah, good cut at that one.
He did, and Noah got away with one there. That ball was up.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and chop and foul ball off his foot as it rolled out to first base, and that'll send Dyer back to second. 2 outs. Scoreless ball game as Montgomery County is batting here at the bottom of the first inning with Beechwood. What was Beechwood's ranking most of the season? I know
they've been down around, I think they were early on somewhere in the low 20s and then moved up steadily as they kept winning ball games. Don't know what they are at the end of the season, though.
1-2 pitch and swing and a miss. Dropped by the catcher. You have to throw him out and flip those at the first base to retire Johnson, so he strikes out. And for Montgomery County, no runs, 1 hit. They leave a man on base as we go to the second inning. No score, Montgomery County and Beechwood here on PrepSpin.com. The Minky Beef Jerky Game of the Week. William Warfield, the King of Streams, streaming here from us for Kentucky Proud Park. We'll be back. We head to the top of the second inning. No score. Seth Adams facing Marcus Berger. Jackson Knoll, Clay Trusty, the catcher. Looks in at Berger. The wind to pitch, and that's going to be a ball a little bit low. No, 1 ball, no strikes, as Marcus Berger leads off the second inning for the Tigers of Beechwood. Pitch from Adams, and that's going to be a ball just a little inside, and Seth Adams want to know where that pitch was. 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody out here in the second inning. He's a ball high on that one too.
Yeah, well, the first 2 were really good locations, down the strike zone, just a little bit off the inner half of the plate. This one he tried to muscle up and throw it too hard.
Ball 4. He walks the number 6 hitter on 4 pitches, so Berger goes down to first base for the Tigers.
Next up for the Tigers.
He is 3 for 4 in stolen bases if you're keeping score at home. And we know you are. That brings up Jackson Knoll, the third baseman. Clay Trusty in the on-deck circle with Berger out at first base, being held on by Jacobs. Adams out of the stretch now. Pitch, and that's going to be a ball high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes, and catcher Hundley looking down at his third baseman and questioning something. Maybe he thought third baseman should be coming in. I don't think Noah was showing bunt, was he?
He kind of flashed it and was straight take.
Pitch 2. That's going to be a strike right down Broadway to Jackson Knoll. Evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. King of Stream. If you're watching on the National Federation High School Network or Prep Spin, high definition. Pitch and bunted down third, foul as it's grabbed by the third baseman Huff. Foul territory. Nick Huff, a freshman playing third base in the state tournament, in the semi-state.
Well, and here's the thing, too. Hundley was getting on his third baseman Huff a moment ago. They had a game on. Huff was staying back, looking like he was going to charge the first time. Stayed back. Shortstop covered second baseman covered first. This time they did it the other way around.
Adams, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind, the pitch, and swing and a miss. That was an excuse me swing. Just kind of swung, trying to protect the plate. So striking out is Knoll, and that's 1 out. You got Berger out at first base. He reached on the base on balls. Coming up, Clay Trusty, the catcher. He hits 267 with Preston Hamilton on deck. There is 1 out here in the top of the second inning of a scoreless ball game between Beechwood and Montgomery County out of the 10th region. Beechwood out of the 9th region. 1 out. Berger gets a lead at first. Jacobs holds him on. Adams checks, comes. It's hit out toward right center field, and coming over on it will be the right fielder. Makes the grab out in right field. Jay Eads makes the grab out there, so 2 outs. Preston Hamilton.
17, Preston Hamilton.
Right now, it looks like that the Montgomery County defense is just adjusting to the whatever line. We're going to go back and see that 4 outfielder again, I think, with Odom and Castleman up again as they get to the bottom of the order here with the number 9 hitter.
Hamilton, number 9 hitter, and that just missed outside. You got Marcus Berger's out at first base. He reached on a base on balls. He struck out Jackson Knoll. Then he got Trusty to fly out to his right fielder, Jay Eads, did Seth Adams. 2 outs, pitch, and that's going to be a call strike. Good pitch. Adams seems to be on today. He walked the 1 batter, Berger, but ever since, I tell you what, he struck out Knoll, and then he got Trusty to pop up, and that's the key to Seth. He's got to be on early, and he is a little bit on here early.
Right now, Adams is really changing speeds really well and changing the eye level, too, of the Beechwood hitters.
That pitch was just a bit outside to the left-handed hitting Hamilton with Johnny Odom in the on-deck circle, the 479 hitter for Beechwood. pitch, and that's going to be a ball, a little bit low. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner at first base. Montgomery County in the white, Beechwood in the red uniforms. 3-1, and that's going to be ball 4. So he walked Berger to lead off the inning. Then he walks the number 9 hitter, Hamilton. And that's trouble because you got runners at first and second. Now you're at the top of that order in John Odom.
And here you go with the second baseman moving to first, the first baseman moving to right center field, the left fielder moving to center field, the center fielder moving to left field. You have all that shuffle now?
Well, they must have scouted Beechwood and said the top of this order does not hit the ball to second base side. On the ground, they hit it in the air or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess that's what they're thinking.
But you're trying to cut the alleyways down with Montgomery County, or with Beechwood, with this defensive alignment.
Ball hit out toward left center field, and the left center fielder going back just like softball, making the grab out there off the bat of Odom. So he flies out to center field for the 3rd out. For Beechwood, no runs, no hits. They leave 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Beechwood, nothing. And Montgomery coming to bat in the bottom of the 2nd. Nothing on the Minky Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week. Carter Noah, the big right-hander for Beechwood, facing Jay Eads, and that ball's going to miss inside to Eads with Seth Adams and then Tyler Eads here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. No score, Beechwood and Montgomery County out of Mount Sterling. And ball's going to be low. Beechwood out of Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. That's up in northern Kentucky. Of course, they won, I think, 11 or 12 state titles in football. In Class A football powerhouse, Darren. You know that.
Yeah, they're not only a powerhouse, they are, and they're not afraid to play some of the bigger schools either. They'll move up and play some of those guys.
They play Covington Catholic every year in football. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just similar to what down this area when we had the Harrisburg High School teams of the past under Alvis Johnson. They move up and play those bigger teams.
Carter Noah 2-0, and that's going to be a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eads with Adams on deck here in the 2nd inning. I'll take you through this inning, and Darren Douglas will give you the innings 3-4 here at Kentucky Proud Ballpark. And that ball's it's going to hit him. Hit by the pitch is Eads.
Well, neither pitcher right now is throwing probably their A game, and we're going to get a question from the Beechwood coach out with the plate umpire saying he has to make an effort to get out of the way of the pitch. But
so Eads is hit by the pitch. He's down at first, held on by Dover Spike. This is high school baseball on Prep Spin. Minky Beef Jerky Game of the Week as Eads gets a good lead out at first. There's going to be a call strike inside corner to Seth Adams, his counterpart. 326 hitter. Darren, what can you tell us about Mr. Adams?
Well, Mr. Adams, besides a really good pitcher, he
It's 326.
I was having trouble finding him. He's 326. He's walked 25 times, only struck out 23 times. He's got 6 doubles and a triple. Driven in 32. Real good balance in the run in the hitting department for Montgomery County. You got about 6 guys have hit 20, got 20 hits or more.
1 ball and 1 strike to Adams with Ty Eads on deck. Nobody out here in this second inning. Dover Spike, I tell you, Eads getting a good lead over there, and that's going to be a ball a little bit inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out here in this second inning. Gary Ball, William Warfield, King of Stream. Everybody good this afternoon?
Everybody's good.
2 balls.
I know
one
what it
strike.
is. William and I are quieter than normal.
Yeah, I know. Normally I can't shut you up.
Kind of spooking Gary Ball, but that's okay.
It is. I've been spooked before. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we know we got 2. We're like Ernie Banks. We're going to play 2.
Going to play 2.
Ball gets away at right field. Going down to second. Eads. He's rounded second. Coming to third. Here comes a throw. He's in there sliding safely at third base. On the errant throw.
That's an E1.
Eads all the way around second to third on that throw.
Dover Spike had no chance on that ball. It was thrown up to the outfield side of first base. And
we know there are 7 ways to score from third base.
With less than 2 outs.
Yes.
Yes.
There's no outs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adams. Ty Eads on deck for Montgomery as they try to push one across here in the bottom of the second and take the early lead against Beechwood. Ball chopped, foul down third base.
Well, what Adams needs to do right now is get something either in the air to the outfield or hit the ball to the right side. He's got to get the ball on the ground to the right side or to the shortstop. Can't do anything at the third baseman. That'll get the run.
Hit over the pitcher. The run was scored. It's 1-0. Throw to first, and they get Adams, but he does bring in the run. It's 1-0 as Eads comes in to score. RBI there for Adams. He's thrown out 6-4, but gets the RBI.
Helps himself out as he's the pitcher of record right now and drives in run number 18 on the year for Montgomery County.
Ty Eads up there now with 1 out. A run in, though, for the Montgomery County Ball Club. And that looks outside, ball 1.
So the error by the pitcher, Noah, hurts himself. It was a 2-base throwing error, too.
Yeah, Eads went all the way around second to third on that throw. Ball fouled back toward the backstop, right just to the left of us. We almost need to get out our gloves, I guess.
Yeah, I'll protect you. As Harry Carey used to say to Steve Stone, come out from under the desk. I'll protect you, Steve.
2 balls, 1 strike to Ty Eads, then Braxton Hunley, the catcher for Montgomery County. They won the 10th. Beechwood won the 9th region. There's a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A run in for Montgomery, and you know Carter Noah's very upset with himself out there on the mound because he allowed the base runner Eads to go all the way around to third. There's
he hurt himself by the bad throw on the pickoff move over to first base.
And pitchers get rattled by stuff like that.
Sometimes they do. Beechwood right now looks a little tight.
Ball hit out toward left field. Left fielder going back on it, Johnson, and makes the grab. That was a good hit there by Eads. He got a lot of that one, but he flies out to the left fielder, Johnson, out in left field. And 2 outs now, and that brings up Braxton Hunley, the catcher for Montgomery County.
You know, not only did the runner go from first to third on the overthrow, there's a lot of foul ground space, especially between home plate and down the lines here at Kentucky Proud Park. So that's why that he was able to do that.
Carter Noah, ERA was 1.55. Of course, that throwing error allowed Eads to get all the way around to third. He scored on the Adams knock up the middle. He was thrown out at first, but, of course, Eads came in to score, and that was a ball inside.
And I think that run would be unearned because they didn't get him around. So.
I think you're right. And that's fouled out of play into the Beechwood dugout.
Nice play by one of the Beechwood players in the dugout there.
Look at that great view of the field here on prepspin.com. Digital network.
Partly sunny here, too.
Yeah, beautiful day for baseball. And we've got that's a call strike. We've got Tate's Creek and Somerset coming up at 7 o'clock.
And nobody would have thought, Somerset's got a great ball club, but nobody thought they were going to come out of that 12th region.
Ball hit up the middle, fielded by Odom, fires over, low to first, and it's dug out by the first baseman, Dover Spike. Good play by Johnny Odom at short, but Montgomery County gets a run. They get it on no hits, and we head to the third inning. Montgomery 1, Beechwood nothing here on the Mingy Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week. Welcome back here to Kentucky Proud Ballpark with the third inning action. It'll be the big sticks for Beechwood. Logan Castleman, Aiden Hutton, and Devin Johnson. And here with the play-by-play in innings 3 and 4, Darren Douglas.
Thank you, Gary. And it is a sunshine day here in Central Kentucky on this Saturday afternoon. And a little bit warmer, I think, than the folks in this area thought it was going to be. The first pitch to Castleman is a fastball in the inside corner from Adams, and it's a call strike.
He got a base on balls after going. He was behind, no balls, 2 strikes, and drew the base on balls. Shows you his great eye to plate. Why he's got 32 base on balls.
The 0-1 to Castleman's right there, same spot, nothing in 2.
He's behind 0-2 now. So what will he do now?
But he is a very good commander of the strike zone. He knows it.
7 home runs on the season for this young man. He can jack it out.
Well, he just looks like a baseball player. The 0-2 in the dirt, a breaking pitch away from him.
He'll play at Wright State, same place that Ryan Fusey played his collegiate baseball. He was an all-conference player up there at Wright State, Ryan was, before he had the shoulders injury.
Home of the Raiders, as they are known.
And home of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Yep. The 1-2 fouled out of play to the right side of home plate.
This is just a gorgeous. This is the best baseball field I've seen, and it's one of the best in the country. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, they've spent the money very well spent up here at the University of Kentucky.
$50 million for this ballpark.
The 1-2 to Castleman, chopped to the right side, and there's where the second baseman's playing normally.
That's a 6'19" hitter. He sees there's nobody up, down, and he looks to second on that throw. Castleman saw nobody was a second. He just went with that pitch outside and got him a base hit.
Might have heard the groan from the Montgomery County fans. The ball coming in from right field got away from the shortstop, but Huff backing up. And who's number 20? That is Jacob Sponsel. He's going to get his workout in by running back and forth between the dugout of Montgomery County along the third base line and bringing the gloves out. and gives a little encouragement to Seth Adams as he comes back to the dugout on the third base line. He gets a high five from 4 of his teammates.
Second baseman's back at his
regular position.
Regular position.
It's hard to say that because we've seen that dramatic shift from Montgomery throughout. Breaking pitch on the outside corner, a strike to Aiden Hunt. Hunt is 0 for 1.
He's a 400 hitter.
He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up.
Devin Johnson on deck for the Tigers of Beechwood.
Rover back and safe is Castleman. And before anybody says it, Gary, sending you a text or I a text, yes, there are 2 Devin Johnsons in the lineup.
And that's hard to believe. You and
they both are hitting cleanup.
We had to wonder if maybe somebody put the wrong name in there, but no, 2 of them.
Castleman back as Adams tries to keep him close.
Dover
We're in the
spike.
top of the third of the inning, and Beechwood trails Montgomery 1-0. Castleman with a good size lead at first. Pitch is high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hutton. Castleman, 33 of 37 in stolen base attempts for the Tigers.
That's 89%.
Nice play at first base by Montgomery County's first baseman because he saved Adams like Noah an error. That's Jacobs over at first.
Hutton has 50 RBIs.
Off and going is Castleman to throw down. A good throw from Hundley. But it gets it through, and in with second base with a tying run is Castleman with a stolen base.
That's stolen base 34 on the season for Logan.
And that wasn't a hit and run. That was a straight steal. As he put his head down and was off and going. So the tying run 180 feet away as Hundley leads in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. As Adams delivers, this one popped into the foul territory. Jacobs going back. Catches over his shoulder. That's a nice play by the first baseman, Jacobs.
And a big out as he gets the first out. Nice play by the first baseman. You said he was running with his back to the infield. He turned around. The ball was coming down. He had to catch it with his back to the infield. A nice catch over there by Jacobs, the first baseman. 1 out now. Castleman still down at second base, and Devin Johnson, 495 hitter. They're going to intentionally walk him.
They're going to walk Johnson again for the second time, the intentional walk. Beechwood fans don't like that.
I think it's a good call.
Well, he's got
50. He's
almost
got
50
49.
RBIs.
Yeah.
Don't let him drive them in. Make the guys behind him now pick up the runs.
Dover spike up there now. He's going to Thomas More University.
Be playing in the Mid-South Conference next year.
Yep.
Runners at first and second, 1 out. The first pitch from Adams is high.
Castleman causing all kinds of problems for the pitcher, Adams, as he's out there running, shuffling his feet back and forth and shifting and wreaking havoc out there on the bases for Beechwood.
Got a good lead at second again. He's dancing all over the place.
Dancing.
Pitch is a strike right down the middle.
To Dylan Dover spike, a 424 hitter. Marcus Berger on deck.
1 ball and 1 strike.
I wonder if he's related to Brandon Berger.
Good question.
Great running back for Beechwood back in the 90s.
This one that hit into right field. Eads has a beat on it. Castleman tagging at second. He's on his way to third. The throw goes through, and Huff will go out and get it. And Castleman's 90 feet away with a tying run, but there are 2 men out now.
That was a pretty good throw out there in right field. I mean, it was a little bit off the line, Darren Douglas, but nice throw out there by J.E. Eads for Montgomery County in right field as Castleman's got some speed. Castleman just 90 feet away. Yeah. But runners at first and third.
For the young people out there, though, Gary, you'll hear coaches talk about hit your cutoff man. If Eads gets that ball down, the shortstop can cut it off more in case Johnson's trying to tag and move up 90 feet to second base.
Pitching coach comes out for Montgomery County to talk with Seth Adams. You got runners at the corners. You got 2 outs here in the top half of this third inning. Montgomery County holding that 1-0 lead over the Beechwood Tigers out of the 9th region.
this has been one of those Chesterfield ball games through the first inning and 2/3, or 2 2/3 innings so far. Most of it strategic-wise defensively with Montgomery County.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Beechwood. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for Montgomery County here. Top of the third. There are 2 outs, so an out will get Seth Adams out of this inning, but he's got a dangerous man up there, Marcus Berger.
Pitch is high to Berger, a ball. He has Castleman, the lead runner, at third. Johnson with the intentional walk at first base. It's going to take a 2-out hit from Berger at least to get the run home. Reagan pitch on the outside corner, 1-1.
That was a really good pitch by Seth Adams. He came in, a little all-speed pitch, hung it outside on the outside corner. Great pitch by Adams at a great opportunistic time.
The 1-1 coming to Berger. Hitting the air, going back as the center fielder. He'll have room.
Makes a running
Makes
grab.
the catch, and the inning over. Gave it a ride, did Berger, but to the deepest part of the ballpark. In the inning for Beechwood, no runs, 1 hit. There were no Montgomery County errors. There were 2 left. We're through 2.5 here in Lexington on the Mingy Beef Jerky High School Game of the Week. Trevor Igo, the number 9 hitter, trying to bunt his way on and fouls it back to the screen, 0-1, as Montgomery County comes to bat in the bottom of the third with a 1-0 lead. It's 9-1-2 as we go back to the top of the order for the Indians. Pitch on the outside corner, 0-2. Quickly Noah ahead in the count. Jacobs and then Dyer will follow Igo. This one fouled out of play to the right.
Good job by Igo just to protect the plate there, Darren, as he swatted that one foul off the right part of the bat and then hit it into the fence area, into the netting area.
The 0-2 to Igo. Just missed with the pitch on the outside half.
That's exactly where Trusty wanted that pitch, though.
Yep, got right on the outside corner, and Noah hit the mitt. The 1-2.
Just missed high.
Igo checked his swing, and it was high, 2-2.
Dangerous hitter, Tyler Jacobs on deck, 500 batter on the season. That's like a softball average.
Yeah, well, Igo's no slouch at the plate, batting .389 in that 9-hole. This one hit in the air to the left side. The shortstop going out. That's Odom. And a few steps out on the outfield grass. He has the catch, and there's one gone.
Brings up Tyler Jacobs, 500 batting average.
Flew out to left field his first time up, so he's 0 for 1.
He had 50 hits this year and 100 at-bats, 41 runs, hit 5 doubles, 3 triples, 2 home runs, and stole 22 out of 23 bases. Pretty productive season for Mr. Jacobs.
Yeah, not too shabby at all. First pitch is down low, a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
Brandon Dyer on deck for the Montgomery County Indians out of the 10th region, here for the first time in 42 years.
Fastball on the outside corner, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike right at the knees. Good pitch from Noah.
You were probably a young kid back then, weren't you?
I would have been 12. Pitch is in the dirt, actually 11. I wouldn't turn 12 till that fall. Just a youngster. But didn't have near the gray hair I've got now. This one grounded back up the middle. Odom off to his left. Nice play. Throws on the run. Got him.
Nice play. We see the glove by Johnny Odom. He not only knocked down a hit, had a sure hit written all over it, over second base. He had the wherewithal to set his feet and throw him out at first base on a good throw.
Well, that showed his range right there as he ranged off behind second a couple of steps. Actually, when he fielded the ball to the right field side of second. So there's 2 gone in the inning. It brings up Brandon Dyer. Dyer got the first hit of the ball game, and what we determined that was a gift. Ground ball to the shortstop. Odom over to Dover Spike, and the inning over.
Well,
Pop up to Odom, and then 2 ground balls to him.
Yeah, it was Odom's inning. He ties a record
with many. We're through 3 innings of play here in Lexington in the semi-state between Montgomery County and Beechwood. 1-0 Montgomery County on the Mingy Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
The reward after. This is a moment to remember. This is a Mingy moment.
Back here for the top of the 4th inning, Beechwood trying to get things started against Seth Adams. First pitch is fouled away and towards the Montgomery County radio booth with KHSAA Hall of Famer on the call over there, Dan Manley. Been around 43 years. This is 43 years of calling Mount Sterling and Montgomery County athletics.
He's been a jewel for that area.
0-2 now to Jackson Knoll. Leading off here in the 4th. Knoll struck out back in the 2nd inning. Adams working into the 4th. Just off the outer half. And he hit the mitt right where Huntley wanted it as well.
1-0 Montgomery County here in the top half of the 4th inning.
Now neither team burning it up on the hit parade. They both have 1 hit. This one hit into left field. And it will fall fair just inside the left field line, and it kicks
into the area over there.
Into the
sloped area.
Grassy area.
And that's not a ground rule double.
So a leadoff double off the bat of Knoll. Hit number 2 for the Tigers. And the head coach for Beechwood went out to say something to his base runner. I don't know if he was trying to communicate something directly or check on him physically or.
No, he was telling him something that he didn't like. Didn't like the way he was hustling or running or something, because I guess he felt like he should have been down at second base.
In general, yeah. Well, nonetheless, he got a leadoff double on the ground rule double.
It's a ground rule double.
And he'll
bounces
bring up
into that slopey area out there behind the fence. And
the catcher, Clay Trusty, who flew out to right field his first time up.
You know, this is a dangerous part of this order because if you lose anybody here, you go back to that top of that order and Johnny Odom and Logan Castleman.
And Huntley will go out and talk to his ball club or his pitcher. Now he calls the first baseman in. And now slowly but surely the rest of the infield comes in.
Got a nice crowd here in Kentucky Proud Park for this semi-state game between Beechwood and Montgomery County. Montgomery County only had about 35 minutes to drive from Mount Sterling. Beechwood only had about an hour to drive down here from
not a bad
Fort Mitchell.
Drive. But depending on the traffic and the construction on I-75 North, seems like every time I go that way, they've got some kind of construction going on up that way.
Yeah, well, they'll find that out going home, coming down there on south. Right?
Yeah, it's true. So Trusty takes the first pitch from Adams outside a ball as they had the wheel play on it, the middle of the diamond.
Matt Brandenburg, the home plate umpire. James Burton's out at first. Mark Harvey's at second. Aaron Haney's the third base umpire.
And neither side of the fans have been too pleased with Mr. Brandenburg's strike zone so far. They thought it's been a little tight, but that one a good pitch on the outside corner from Adams. A strike.
Preston Hamilton, second baseman on deck for the Tigers of Beechwood in their red uniforms. As you see it on prepspin.com, the video, high definition.
The 1-1 in the air, center field. Charging as a center fielder. He has it easy.
Well, I tell you,
got a nice break on it.
This Tyler Reeds can play some center field now.
He got a nice break.
Yeah, and he broke back on one ball, and an inning or so ago made a great catch running away from it. And I tell you what, I'm impressed with the defense of these both ball clubs. How can you not be impressed with Odom, the shortstop of Beechwood?
Yeah, he's got a cannon for an arm, too. He kind of piddles with the baseball, looks down and checks the logo out and things, and he just fires a seed over across the diamond.
One out, Hamilton, and you go back to Johnny Odom, runner out at second.
Hamilton walked back in the second inning. He takes the first pitch strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to him. Adams has struck out one, and he's walked four. Two of them have been the intentional variety to Devin Johnson. This one grounded foul down the first baseline.
Seth Adams had 68 strikeouts coming into this game in just 61 2/3 innings.
Well, looking at both pitching staffs' strikeout numbers, they're not big strikeout pitchers on either staff.
Yeah, Rowan County's got a pitcher with 120 strikeouts. They won today earlier, by the way.
The 0-2 coming. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2. Just as I say that, Adams gets a strikeout. Second out of the inning, and they go back to the top of the order for
and his second strikeout there.
Strikeout, and we go back to the craziness of switching gloves and one fielder going from one direction to another. And if you're scoring with us again, the second baseman for Montgomery goes to first. The first baseman goes to right center. The center fielder goes to left field. The left fielder goes to left center.
John Odom.
And Odom, who is 0 for 2, a fly ball right, fly balls to left. His 2 times to the plate.
Logan Castleman on deck.
Beechwood has had a runner on in every inning so far, but cannot get a hit to drive them in. The 1-0. This one hit into right center. First baseman Jacobs will take it way up and left. 3. No, not the hit. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. 3.5. Montgomery County still leading 1-0 on the game of the week. Back here as we begin the bottom of the fourth inning, it's Luke Fuller, who took the first pitch off the inner half, then took a strike, and now ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike as Carter Noah falls behind the count. Pitch is down and away, 3-1.
The other Devin Johnson's on deck.
Yep. Fuller, you could say, is the second baseman's last first baseman, depending on who's at the plate. This one lined over the third baseman's head and into left field to hit. Johnson sliding in the left field corner. On his way to second is Fuller. The throw not in time, and a great slide head first to the outfield side of second.
You said it best, Darren. That was a great slide by Fuller. He slid to the outside. The throw, the outfielder, left fielder went down for the ball, got up from the dive he made to cut off that ball, threw a good throw, but it was a little bit off the second base bag, and it was a good tag. It was just a better slide.
Well, the Devin Johnson in left field made a nice play to cut it off on the slide, as Gary said. He got up, thought he had not caught the baseball in the glove, and he thought he knocked it down, looked down the glove, and there it was, and threw almost a perfect strike to second base as Devin Johnson at the plate from Montgomery swings and misses, 0-1.
So runner at second, leadoff hitter Fuller doubles down the left field line and brings up Devin Johnson.
The last time Montgomery County had a runner at our leadoff runner reach base, he came around to score. That was Jay Eads back in the second inning.
Trusty does a nice job back there behind the dish for Beechwood. That was a great save right there.
Yeah, that ball.
Yeah, that gets away from him. Fuller's down at third base.
That looked like it scooted off of the plate. This one in the dirt. This one gets away from Trusty this time. Just as we sang his praises, he got a little lazy. He tried to backhand a ball outside there.
Still blocked it.
Yeah. I think he got lucky there because he just didn't move his feet and tried to block it with his body.
Great recovery.
That's why I don't catch. Glad.
2-1.
Left-hander. Johnson hits this one foul and out of play to the left side here. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. And Fuller at second base with a leadoff double. This one fouled back and just to our left. And look out, Dan Manley. Is it?
No, I was to the down by WL Stats.
Down to close there, so. And it stays 2 balls and 2 strikes to Devin Johnson. Fuller at second with the leadoff double, a hustle double, really. This one in the dirt, and we go full now to Johnson.
Well, he was thinking double all the way, as you might well expect him to. But the left fielder out there, Johnson, had other ideas. He nearly threw him out.
2 things happened: hustling out of the box, and then a really nice slide at second base. Strike 3 call as Brandenburg took a long look at it before ringing up Devin Johnson.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that. Big Devin, he goes back to the dugout and tosses the bat. He's very upset. He didn't think that was a strike, but rings him up. And that is the second strikeout of this ball game for Carter Noah, the pitcher for Beechwood.
And
1 out.
Both times it's been Devin Johnson. First pitch is down low to Jay Eads. Eads, he
did score the run.
He did score the run, but he didn't get an official time at bat because he was hit by a pitch.
Seth Adams drove him in.
Swinging a miss. Good fastball from Noah there. 1 on and 1 out here in the fourth. And the way Seth Adams is right now dealing with this Beechwood lineup, this second run out there could be big this early, even at this juncture of the game.
We're finding out why he's considered the ace. 8 wins on the season, 6 saves, accounted for 14 wins. Tyler Jacobs, 7-1 on the season, the pitcher for Montgomery County. How about Carter Noah, 12-0?
This one grounded to the shortstop. On his way to third is Fuller. Odom looks that way and just nips Jay Eads at first base.
Montgomery County fans were hanging on the call there because you're right, Johnny Odom, he threw it over to first base. That was a pretty well-hit baseball, but it's hit right to the shortstop, Odom, and he threw him out. I tell you, that was a bang-bang play at first base.
Well, he
just nipped him.
He checks the seams to make sure they're okay. He looks at the baseball, make sure it's not dirty. He eats a sandwich while he's at it, and then he wants to show off that gun that he's got to hang on that right shoulder, and it almost cost him because Jay Eads was hustling down the line.
He can run. 2 outs.
And there's 2 gone on the bang-bang play at first, and Fuller getting a little attention for a carpet burn on the left elbow.
This is a beautiful field here, Kentucky Proud
Yes, sir.
Park. You can see it on our camera right behind home plate here, Kentucky Proud Ballpark.
You know, I'm ecstatic that the University of Kentucky decided here's the first pitch to Adams, down low ball. Adams, back in the second inning, drove in the game's only run with a ground ball to short. So he's helped himself on the mound and at the plate. This one on the inside corner, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
2 outs, runner down in third. You would think that might be a pretty big run down there for
the way
Montgomery.
Adams is going right now through the first 4 against Beechwood. This one down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike to Seth Adams, who grounded, I said, to short, but drove the run in, which was Jay Eads. Swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up with a fastball a little bit high.
Seth has the only RBI of this ball game. It's 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Montgomery on top of Beechwood.
Adams hits it from the right side. This one hit into center field. That'll be down for a hit.
He's got both RBIs.
He's got both RBIs, and tell you what, Seth Adams says I can do it on the mound and I can do it at the plate.
And he's doing it.
Helped himself
RBI
on
single.
both occasions, and it's 2-0 Montgomery County.
Brings in Luke Fuller for the second run. Fuller, of course, doubled down the left field line. Johnson got on that ball, nearly threw him out. 2 outs.
Courtesy runner down at first, Trey Carroll, a 5'8" freshman for Montgomery County, number 3 in white.
Now batting for the Indians, center fielder number 11, Ty Eads.
Brings up Ty Eads, the center fielder for Montgomery County. 2-0 Indians. The first pitch is down low, a ball.
Seth Adams pitching and hitting star so far. 2 RBIs. 2-0 Montgomery.
This one's high and away from Eads. Yeah, he struck out 2 so far, and only limiting Beechwood to 2 hits. Pitch is down low, 3-0.
Tates Creek, Somerset will battle tonight at 7 o'clock here on PrepSpin.com.
I know you like the Briar Jumpers nickname. This one off the outside corner and a walk on 4 straight pitches. So Eads aboard with a walk. Now brings up Braxton Hundley, the catcher, who grounded out to the shortstop his first time up back in the second inning.
Trey Carroll, a good runner out there at second base. Got some speed. Braxton Hundley, the catcher for Montgomery, right-handed hitter. Now some activity. We're going to get some activity down in the Beechwood bullpen.
Yeah, that is number 9. That would be Brett Holliday. Wears 0 with the white jerseys and 9 with the red jerseys. Pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes to Hundley. With Montgomery County with a 2-0 lead. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Indians. No runs, 2 hits, an error for Beechwood. This one's fouled back in to the mezzanine, as they call it. So it's a ball and a strike to Hundley. Should Hundley keep the inning alive with 2 people on? This one hit into right field, falls for a hit. On his way is
what a
Carroll,
throw,
but a nice throw
by Berger. Man, threw that right on the line of the catcher. The catcher didn't even move, and as fast as Carroll is, he'd have been out if he tried to go home.
Going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher now for Hundley. And Montgomery County starting to get to Carter Noah. It's Meyer Patrick, another freshman, 5'3", number 21 in white. We're going to get the Beechwood head coach out here for the Tigers. That would be Kevin Gray for Beechwood.
Matt Snyder's the pitching coach. This probably is Snyder.
So the bases are loaded. And Trevor Igo at the plate for
This is why you have a
Montgomery
380.
County.
This is why you have a 389 hitter in your 9-hole, right? For situations right like this, bases loaded in the semi-state ball game against a team like Beechwood, and you've got Trevor Igo up there, 389 hitter, no slouch, with the bases loaded.
He's not only batting 389, but he's also producing runs down in that spot. He's got 21 runs batted in from that 9-hole. Takes the first pitch ball from Carter Noah. Fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. It's a strike.
Good pitch by Carter Noah.
Took a little bit off of that,
He had to come, and right here he needs a perfect pitch. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, already a run in from Montgomery. They lead 2-0.
He's
got the runner out at second. Here comes a throw to the plate and out at the plate.
And that was on the second base, the runner at second base for Montgomery County. That's Ty Eads. He got a little bit too much off of second base, and it set up the courtesy runner Carroll getting thrown out at the plate.
Johnny Odom threw him out, the shortstop.
Showed that cannon. But Montgomery County got another run. A 2-run lead for Seth Adams as he hits the 5th. 2-0 Montgomery County on the Minky Beef Jerky Game of the Week. Back here at Kentucky Proud Park with the top of the 5th, Gary Ball.
Logan Castleman, and that pitch is away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike at Logan Castleman. 7 home runs on the season. It's 2-0. Montgomery County 2 runs, 4 hits. Beechwood no runs on 2 hits and an error.
You know, that last inning, Beechwood's had a runner at second base in every inning today. Castleman's been there twice. Castleman actually got to third base in the 3rd, and they've yet to been able to drive anybody home.
Seth Adams and the pitch, and he hit him. So Castleman is hit by the pitch.
And you see why his slugging percentage is so daggone high, too. He gets on base any way he can. Hits the ball, takes his walk, wear one for the team. And just like a true baseball player, he didn't rub it. Even if it didn't hurt, he didn't rub it.
You mean even if it did hurt, right?
Well, that, if it didn't hurt even, he didn't rub it just to kind of just show how tough he is. And you can guarantee if you play on that Beechwood football team in Northern Kentucky, you are tough.
Got to be. Hutton at the plate. Castleman out at first. Adams' pitch is going to be a call strike. Breaking pitch. Broke over inside portion of the plate. No balls in one strike with nobody out. Devin Johnson on deck for the Tigers of Beechwood as they bat, trailing 2-0 here in the top half of the fifth inning. Kentucky Proud Park in the semi-state 9th and 10th region battling here. Throw over to first. Good throw, but first baseman dropped the ball. Jacobs. Castleman, 34 stolen bases on the season. Young man can run, can hit, can do it all. 0-1 pitch to Hutton, and that bounds up to Castleman off and running. Down to second, looks at the ball, thinking about third, but catcher Hundley comes up with it behind the backstop.
That was one of those 54-foot curveballs from Adams, and Hundley, instead of trying to knock it down with his body, tried to backhand it and kicked over his head and back to the left of home plate, allowing Castleman to go down to second. He had ideas if Hundley was lollygagging to go into third.
So Castleman moves down to second. Adams pitch to Hutton, and that's going to be a call strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Devin Johnson, the .495 hitter, on deck for the Tigers of Beechwood, batting here top half of the fifth inning.
You know, Dan Manley, the radio voice for the Indians, had a great line. He said, it's been 42 years, and I'll finish it second.
Pitch is way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So I've been the radio voice for the Mount Sterling Trojan, the Montgomery County Indian sports teams for 42 years. They haven't been here 47 years. That meant I was just a twinkling in my daddy's eye back when the last time Montgomery County went to the to the state tournament.
Ball high, pop up. Left fielder, shortstop going back and making the grab in short left field. Brandon Dyer.
If we get any rain today, that will be because of that one that Hutton just hit. That thing was a mile high.
Mile high, gave the shortstop plenty of time to go back into shallow left field, make the grab. Looking back toward him, 1 out. Castleman still out at second, and Devin Johnson up there, and they're going to, I believe,
they're going to walk him for the third time.
Are they going to pass him again? Yes, they are. 3 intentional walks to Devin Johnson.
Beechwood fans don't like that, but I'm telling you, it's great psychology. Number one, you're getting in Devin Johnson's head, and you may affect him defensively.
Dover spike at the he flew out to center field in the third, flew out to shortstop in the first. 0 for 2, runners at first and second. Throw over to first, and back in plenty of time is Johnson.
Jacobs tried to sneak in behind Johnson at first base.
Berger waits on deck for Beechwood. As they bat here in the top half of the fifth, trailing Montgomery County 2-0. Ball hit towards second. Second baseman dives, makes a grab, tries to get the ball out, throws it away. And Castleman comes around. He's going to score. It's 2-1.
Well, with 1 out in the inning, Fuller made a nice play diving off to his left as he was in double play depth position, shading a little bit more towards second base. He probably should have gone ahead and just eaten it, just held on to it, because Castleman had stopped at third base. He wasn't going any further.
Yeah, but he did after the ball was thrown away, like you said, and it's 2-1 now. So Beechwood climbs back in this ball game, and they still have runners at first and second. And they appeal, they throw it to home plate. They said Castleman never touched a plate. He slid in head first. I'm not sure how you can miss the play. Marcus Berger.
Got about 150 to 200 umpires in
more than that.
Home plate.
More than that. There's a good crowd down there from Montgomery County. You got more than 100 or 200. You got about 400 or 500 down there. Here's a ball pulled. Base hit as it gets through to left field. Rounding second. Here's the throw to the plate. It's tied. We're tied at 2. Berger comes through with a base hit to left field. That brings in Johnson. Dover spike goes to second. Berger with the base hit, and Berger's base hit ties it up at 2.
Well, the play before, because Fuller made the play at second base and threw it to second, you could not, and then threw it away for the error on Montgomery County. You could not give a run batted in to Dover Spike. So the first RBI of the afternoon goes to Marcus Berger, and we're tied at 2, and we're dead even on the scoreboard. Across the way, 2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for both sides.
Yep. Could be more even than that. And you still got runners. We're going to have a runner out there for the
24
Beechwood Tigers, and that's going to be Parker Mason. Mason's going to run. Good job by Dover Spike. So Parker Mason. That's not, I don't think our roster's correct.
That's actually Ben Meyer.
Okay. We got 2 24s.
Yep. What's happened is one of them I think, plays a lot more than the other one does.
Ben Meyer in there running.
Because Mason's a freshman. Meyer is also a freshman. So
Meyer running. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Ball pulled foul down first base line. Off the bat of Noel. With Trusty, the catcher, on deck. Beechwood has tied it up with 2 here in the top half of the 5th.
We've not this jam that Adams is in right now is not of his own doing. It's a strategic move to put Johnson on when Castleman gets to second base or Odom. And then the error by Fuller really hurts big time right now. One ball, one strike as Adams just missed outside, Gary, with that pitch. The Montgomery County faithful behind the plate wanted it.
2 runs in for Beechwood. They've tied it up 2-2, and that's going to be a ball a little bit low. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Noel with Trusty on deck. Runners at first and second for Beechwood. The inning's still going. They've plated 2, and they've tied it up against Montgomery County.
And neither run is earned.
Exactly. 2-2 pitch, and ball fouled out of play down the third base line. Well out of play. There's only one man sitting down there. He's all the way to the left. He's sitting down there by himself.
That's because he's being noisy next to his wife a little bit closer here to home plate. And she said, honey, see that corner down there? Go sit.
Looks like he's checking it out on his iPhone.
Maybe. But she told him, go away. I don't want you hollering in my ear today.
Swing and a miss. As he strikes out Noel. That's a big strikeout for Seth Adams. 2 outs here in the inning. Now he needs to get Trusty to get out of this inning here in the top half of the 5th. Beechwood has put a 2 spot up on the board, and they still got runners first and second.
And he's taking care of Trusty pretty easily today with a fly out to right, but that line drive to center.
Hamilton, the number 9 hole hitter, on deck for Beechwood. Wind, a pitch, and that's going to be a call strike.
I heard this thumping noise, and I was looking down in the Montgomery County side to try to see something, maybe the Tomahawk Chop coming up because of the Indian nickname, but it's they're banging some 5-gallon buckets in the Beechwood.
Ball outside. It'll be Tates Creek and Somerset tonight at 7. We'll have that game right here on PrepSpin.com.
Tell you what, for the folks that haven't seen Somerset play basketball or baseball, they're in for a treat when they see the young man Cade Grundy.
1 ball, 1 strike, just missed inside.
Well, I tell you what, that pitch was about as good as you could get.
2 runs in, Castleman scored. Johnson scored. Foul behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on, first and second. 2 runs in for Beechwood. They've tied Montgomery up here, top half of this 5th inning. We're tied at 2 apiece.
I will say this for Brandenburg's, the plate umpire strike zone, it has been consistent.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Noel and Trusty back-to-back. Big strikeouts for Seth Adams, but the damage is done. Beechwood, they scored 2 runs in that top of the 5th. They leave 2 base runners on, They get how many hits total?
Count
Looks like
2.
2 hits for the Beechwood Tigers after 4.5. Beechwood 2 and Montgomery 2 here on the Mingy Beef Jerky High School Baseball Game of the Week. Welcome back here to Kentucky Proud Ballpark, home of the Kentucky Wildcats in baseball and home of the semi-state baseball. We had the regional championship here Wednesday night between Tates Creek and Lafayette because of the wetness and wet around the area, rain and all that. Here we go to the move to the bottom of the fifth. By the way, hello, Kenny Gann out there listening on prepspin.com. Kenny Gann. And
that's a $5 fee for each you and me and William. So $15 owed to the press box up here, Kenny, for mentioning your name on PrepSpin. I told him I wasn't going to give him any slack. He aggravated me the other day at the 11th region tournament so bad it wasn't even funny. Try to get you some scores if they're coming in from the other scores around the area.
I go Jacobs and Dyer here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 2-2 ball game. Beechwood tied it up in the top half of this inning.
We do have a couple of final scores. You mentioned the one, Rowan County 5-0 winners at Morehead State University over Lawrence County.
So Carter Noah now will work out of the wind-up, and he has a tie ball game, 2-2. His ball club has tied it up.
The other game,
foul.
A semi-upset, I believe, in this one. Breckenridge County knocks off South Warren 7-3 at Western Kentucky University.
I believe South Warren was a favorite in
the
that one.
Semi-state number 2. So
ball chopped down toward third.
Nice play.
Nice play, nice pickup, and boy, that's a way to pick it over there, Noel, at third base.
That is a good play by the third baseman. That's a tough in-between hop. He didn't let it play him. He came and got the baseball, and that's what you have to do. You have to attack the baseball on those on those choppers.
John Odom, the shortstop for Beechwood, one of the best, and Noel there flashing his leather. One out here in the bottom of the fifth. Ball hit out toward left field, curving, and it's going to be foul ball and foul territory.
The left fielder, Devin Johnson, because he went sliding into the wall. He gets a hand up from Odom, who chases the baseball down all the way down the left field corner. Good effort by Johnson over there in left field for Beechwood.
He dove for it in foul territory, and I tell you what, great effort there by Johnson, and great hustle by Odom, too, getting out all the way from shortstop.
These two, the game here and the game after ours, both are in the top half of the state tournament bracket. That game I just gave you, the winner of this game will take on Breckenridge County.
There's a strike on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Bottom of the fifth inning, Montgomery County. This is Jacobs, a .500 hitter. And he hits it toward left field. Left fielder camps under it and makes the grab out in left field off the – boy, Jacobs hit it well, but hit it right to the left fielder for 2 outs here, and it brings up Brandon Dyer.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Brandon Dyer.
He's the shortstop, hitting .368. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Carter Noah checks in, and that's going to be a call strike. Good hang by Trusty, the catcher for Beechwood. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be they're going to peel down the first. No, check the swing, so ball 1. Gary Ball with Darren Douglas. William Warfield, the king of string. That's what we call him. Ball fouled back behind home plate directly above us. I was ready, but it went to the right.
I saw you dodging. You were ready
You
to fly.
did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not. I was ready to catch it.
I tell you,
Hands
I can
up.
speak for myself. If it hit me in the head, I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't speak for either one of you guys, but
Ball pulled down and right at the Knoll at third base. A line drive, and Knoll took to a knee and hauled it in down there unassisted. So fly ball to the pop line drive to third baseman for the third out. After 5, it's Beechwood 2, Montgomery County 2. Here as we go to the 6th inning here on PrepSpin.com, the Mingy Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
Rest, or the deep rest from a full practice. Another thing that never changes, the feeling of relief when the whistle blows for break.
Preston Hamilton will lead off the top half of the 6th 2-2 ball game. Here's Darren Douglas.
as we go to that 6th inning, and we're dead even on the scoreboard in every column out there.
Every
2-4 and
aspect.
1 for both teams.
Yep.
And Carter Noah and Seth Adams, respectively, for their ball clubs, pitching pretty good baseball here today. This one hit in the air to the right side. Jacobs, the first baseman, coming in. Fuller, the second baseman, calls him off and takes it, and there's one gone.
Montgomery County practiced on their football field. I'll get it right here. Football field, the turf, because of playing here at UK.
We get back to the top of the order, and here goes the young man from Montgomery County to take those gloves out to his respective fielders. Fuller takes the first base mitt, moves to first base. Eads moves right out to, or Jacobs, moves from first base right out there to his spot in right center field. And the left fielder and center fielder are swap spots already. We go back to the four-man
as we got
slow pitch softball side
outfield.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't call it a shift.
Nope, and it is 0 for 3 this afternoon for John Odom. A fly ball to right, fly ball to left, and a line drive to the first baseman Jacobs, or third baseman Fuller. 0-1 to him. Pitch just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball has been a consistent ball on the outside corner there at the knees a little bit.
Logan Castleman in the on-deck area there's no circle, just on-deck area.
The 1-1. Chopped foul by Odom. Had a half-hearted swing. Looked like he was expecting something harder and got something off speed. Was out in front and just got a piece of it to foul it off. A ball and 2 strikes now to Odom. Odom's accustomed to getting on base, batting .479 coming into today. 0 for 3 for the day.
27 of 27 in stolen bases also on the season.
So the 1-2 swung on, lined into the left field. Eads goes back, has it.
Well, I tell you, these outfielders in this massive outfield here at Kentucky Proud Park have done a good job of playing the baseball. I mean, we've seen maybe 1 or 2 outfielders going back on the ball, but for the most part, they've played everything in front of them. Be Tates Creek, Somerset coming up tonight at 7.
You like the Briar Jumper nickname. I like the one from your neck of the woods. Erlanger Lloyd, the Juggernauts.
Juggernauts.
Did a football game in Indiana last year. Team was called the Alices.
The Alices?
Yeah, after Allison Wonderland.
Huh. All and no strikes to Castleman with 2 men out in the inning here. Seth Adams pitching him, going toe-to-toe with Noah Carter. This one lined into right center field. The right center fielder going back. Jacobs makes the play.
Jacobs did a good job in recovery out there. He broke toward the infield just a bit. Castleman hit the ball on the screws, and he was off and running. If he doesn't make that play, that's probably a double or a triple.
Could be at least a double, triple at the most, and then possibly
an inside
the park home run.
Yeah.
William, we'll keep it right here.
Yeah, I got to do this every single game because I need everybody to know that we got a great special going on with Kentucky Orthodontics and Invisalign right now. They got an office right there in Mount Sterling, as a matter of fact, Gary Wall and Darren Douglas. Well, if you mention Prep Spin to Dr. Dermot, Morris, or Garner, they'll give you $1,500 off your total if you get braces or Invisalign.
$1,500?
$1,500 off.
Wow.
I tell you what, I got quoted on my son's braces. They were $5,000 by the time all the all the fees and everything. It come to around $5,000 to get him braces. But I was able to take advantage of my $1,500 discount.
It's usually about $8,000, I think.
So now I'm down to $3,500.
That's good.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's a pretty good businessman there.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check that out. Just mention Prep Spin, schedule your free consultation, and they'll take care of you.
We want to thank all the sponsors, William, on the network.
UPS Kentucky Loop, UPS Jobs, UPSJobs.com.
Bob Roberts Insurance.
Yep.
Rafferty's.
Don't start that. We got hungry that night doing
Sutherland Chevrolet.
Yep, Sutherland and don't text and drive. Sutherland Chevrolet. They're over in Nicholasville.
And I had somebody say we talk about proms and graduations and stuff and the kids not to text and drive. That's for adults too. Pitch over the head of Fuller, a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 for Montgomery County here in the bottom of inning number 6 as we play here at Kentucky Proud Park on the campus of the University of Kentucky. Pitch off the inner half of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Gary and I leaving Wednesday night. The ballpark here got to run into the head coach for the Wildcats, Nick Mangione, and he was very proud when he talked about this park.
Oh, yeah, he should be.
And not so proud of his team's effort in this park, though. He said we had a losing record in the best-looking park in the country. Pitch is a strike. But the thing about Coach Mangione, if nobody knows who I'm talking about, the gentleman is always smiling. Even when he was talking about his team underachieving, he still had a smile on his face. This one lifted down the right field line, curving towards foul territory, but with plenty of room in fair territory. The catch is made, and there's one gone by Berger out there in right field.
Yeah, you got good wheels out there in Berger in right field, making that nice catch.
Yeah, good wheels all over the place in the outfield for this Beechwood.
Castleman in center and Johnson in left.
If you notice that the right fielder and left fielder, they play more towards the lines. They let Castleman say, hey, buddy, anything in the gaps you go get. Brings up Devin Johnson, who's 0 for 2. He struck out swinging, then struck out looking. 0 for 2. He's gone the other way of his namesake in left field. This one punched into left field, and Devin Johnson makes the diving or sliding catch on his namesake, Devin Johnson.
Great catch by
2 outs.
Johnson in left field. He
got a
good jump on that ball as he had to catch it on a knee sliding, and he caught that ball as it was kind of dipping there at the end. Had the extra bases written on it, but Johnson wouldn't allow that. 2 outs.
Pitch a strike on the inside corner.
Jay Eads,
a
23-23 hitter.
He is 0 for 1 with a hit by a pitch. Scored Montgomery County's first run and then grounded out to the shortstop, Odom, in the 4th. Pitch is down and away. One ball and 1 strike.
1 run for the Indians in the bottom of the 2nd, 1 in the bottom of the 4th, 2 runs for Beechwood in the top half of the 5th.
This one foul tipped into the mid of Trusty, who hangs on. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jay Eads with Seth Adams on deck if Eads can reach. Just missed with a breaking pitch outside. After a rocky start, Carter Noah has kind of settled in, Gary. Gave up a run in the second and 1 in the fourth, as you said, but pitched a good ball game here. This one line pass, the first baseman into right field corner. Berger over to cut it off, but sliding in with a double is Eads, and he and Odom get tangled up as they both go down. I think both those gentlemen play football too.
They're going to give him third base, Darren. They're going to say interference by Odom, the shortstop.
Well, I thought the slide from Eads actually knocked Odom off his feet into Eads. So a break from Montgomery County with 2 outs, and they're going to have a runner at third base to go ahead run here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And
the left fielder is in pleading his case with the umpire. Here comes the Beechwood coach out of the dugout.
Kevin Gray, and he's just now getting to the second base umpire. But I agree with Devin Johnson, the left fielder, who had a really good look at it. I thought Eads, when he slid in, took the feet out from under Odom at second base and caused Odom to fall on him, which therefore caused the interference or obstruction is what they would call that.
And now you got the go-ahead run just 90 feet away there. And by the way, if you're just tuning in tonight, the Woodford County Jackets fell to Boyle County today in softball.
3-2.
You called that game.
I did.
Darren Douglas, 3-2. So congrats to Boyle County and Brian Dean, the head coach.
An unearned run in the first inning, even though Boyle got 2 in the second, came back to haunt the Jackets.
Brian Dean does a great job
He does.
at Boyle County.
Les Anderson's done a good job with Woodford, too. Both those coaches. The soccer team, too. Well, I think he's found his sport of softball. He might as well get out of the soccer coaching ranks.
No, I don't think so. He's still
no
a
balls
good
and 1
soccer
strike
coach.
to Adams, who can help himself. Here's a wild pitch. The throw back to Carter.
There's your go-ahead run.
There's the run at third. And that play at second really
is huge.
Looms large now in this possibility of an outcome of this game this afternoon.
Montgomery gets a run. They manufacture. Well, they get a double down the right field line off the bat of Eads. He goes to third on interference on the shortstop, and then he comes in to score on a wild pitch, and it's 3-2 Montgomery County on top of Beechwood.
And that's a tough call. And again, I mean, I'll give the umpire benefit of the doubt, see what he saw from his angle. And this one gets off the glove of Trusty and gets back to the screen a little bit. And
Seth Adams,
2-1.
He has both RBIs tonight.
And he's been at the plate when the third run scores, so he's been in the middle of everything. Pitch on the inner half, just off. 3-1 now to Adams.
Montgomery has regained the lead, 3-2 over Beechwood, bottom of the 6th inning.
Ty Eads on deck, and he takes the ball 4, and down to first goes Adams. He's been on base 2 out of the last 3 times, but his courtesy runner will come on and run, and that'll be Collier again. Or Carroll, I should say. Number 3 is Trey Carroll, the freshman, 5'8". And a quick meeting at the mound. And I'll tell you what, one of those guys that came in for the quick meeting at the mound was center field Castleman, who's jogging back out to his spot in center field. He got in there so fast, I didn't know he was one of the guys on the mound.
He's a captain.
This one grounded to the right side, foul is.
I mean, think about it. Captain of the football team at Beechwood.
Overspike grabs it.
Captain of the baseball team. I don't know if he played basketball, but if he did, he'd probably be a pretty good player.
And they had a pretty good year in basketball, too,
yeah,
did
they
the
got
Tigers.
a guy named Scotty Drought. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Averages 25 points a game.
Scotty Drought Jr., by the way.
His name is Scotty Drought. Just shut up over there. And he's a sophomore, Darren.
Well, we got a bunch of nice young players in this Commonwealth. Nice play at third base by the third baseman.
Saved extra base.
Saved a lot of extra thing as Noel dove off to his left to glove the line drive off the bat of Eads and in the inning. But in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit. There were no Beechwood errors, and there was 1 left. We head to the 7th, and Gary Ball will bring it to you. Beechwood needs a run to get even on the Mingy Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
You know,
Back here at Kentucky Proud Park on the campus of University of Kentucky. Moved to the top of the 7th inning. Montgomery County with a 1-run lead, and here to bring it to you is Gary Ball.
thank you very much, Darren Douglas. It'll be Hutton, Johnson, and Dover Spike for Beechwood. They need a run here. Top half of the 7th, trailing Montgomery 3-2. Seth Adams has gone the distance for Montgomery County. The righty rocks and fires. It's going to be a ball high to Aiden Hutton, the designated hitter, then Devin Johnson and Dylan Dover Spike. 3, 4, 5 hitters. Here's the pitch. Ball hit out towards short and fielded by Dyer. Throws over the infield and throws him out. 1 out. So 2 outs away from advancing to Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
And they already, the winner of this game knows who they will play on Wednesday afternoon. It'll be the Tigers of Breckenridge County. Upset winners over South Warren.
William, will we have any of that early round Wednesday, Thursday action? Just going to have the semifinals and Friday and Saturday right here on the KHSAA TV network. Don Pusey, the former longtime Tates Creek head coach, will join me for those broadcasts.
Saw him as we left the ballpark on Wednesday night.
With Ryan Pusey, his son. 1 out. Brings up Devin Johnson for Beechwood. And that's going to be a ball a little bit low. They're finally going to pitch to Devin. They intentionally walked him his first 3 times up.
Well, you don't think he's going to hit a home run in the size of this field, and they've got the same shift on they have had for Odom and Castleman.
And that pitch is a call strike. Breaking pitch from Seth Adams, 8-3 record, 1.82 ERA. And he's been responsible for 14 wins for Montgomery. That's half of their wins, Darren.
Well, he has been a gritty pitcher out there this afternoon for Montgomery.
Johnson hits one out toward left center field, and it drops in for a base hit. Almost bounds over the head of the left center fielder out there, the softball left center fielder. And it's going to be a base hit.
That was a nice play by
Johnson.
Igo, because that thing hit the turf and took a bounce up in the air off to his right. His non-glove hand, he threw the bare hand up there, came down with it.
That's something you don't see often in baseball.
Well, on this sports turf, you don't see the ball take that big a hop like that, but evidently had some overspin on it. And
we're going to do a 3-man crew. William Warfield's going to do some play-by-play on the Tates Creek game. I'm going to do some play-by-play, and Darren Douglas will do some color commentating.
Got some interesting facts to talk about.
Runner at first. Johnson, he got a base hit. He's 1 for 1 after being intentionally walked 3 times. And Dylan Dover Spike up there for Beechwood. Pitch is going to be just outside, ball 1 to the left-handed hitter.
You know, this park is gorgeous and everything. It's missing one thing. It's missing the Cliff Dwellers spot out there somewhere in the outfield. Yep. I know that was unique to the Cliff Hagen Stadium, but
they have hung their hat on this pitcher. Nobody in the bullpen.
No, they're not even anybody on there not even to look to sniff of the bullpen down the third base line.
This is your game, Mr. Adams, to win or lose.
Well, you got us here with an 8-3 record and 6 saves of our 28. You've got 14 responsibles for it.
Dover Spike had a good rip at that one, Darren. He had a good cut.
And the pitch was up a little bit, too.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Adams to the plate. That's going to be a ball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dover Spike with Marcus Berger on deck, the right fielder.
This has been a pretty quick-moving game, Gary. We're an hour and 46 minutes into this. Been a pretty quick-moving baseball game.
Tates Creek, and here's a throw over to first, back in time. Plenty of time as Johnson. Of course, we got Tates Creek and Somerset. Somerset, the home of Bob Cranfield. Tennis player, Darren. You probably don't know. You probably don't know.
I've heard
Bob.
the name, and I knew what sport he played. I did.
Ball high. 3 balls, 1 strike to Dover Spike. Marcus Berger on deck. Johnson represents the tying run here in the top of the 7th inning. Beechwood and Montgomery County. Montgomery got the lead back in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead 3-2.
And move Eads all the way over now on the other side of second base to center fielder, to the right center field gap.
Seth Adams pitched, and that's going to be ball 4. He walks Dover Spike. He goes to first. Johnson goes down to second. You got the tie and run at second base for the Beechwood Tigers, and you come up to Marcus Berger. RBI hit his last time up.
He's walked and flown out in previous at-bats, but the last time he hit a rocket to left center field. So
Sure did.
Still nobody even hinting that they're headed down to the Montgomery County bullpen.
I'm telling you, this is Adams' game to win or lose. He has one out. Marcus Berger at the plate. Runners at first and second for Beechwood.
Well,
Johnson's at second. Dover Spikes at first.
Coach Varney said, "Hey, Seth, you got us here. We're gonna win or go home with you."
Swing and a miss. Big cut there by Berger.
That was an off-speed curveball, the first one he's thrown in a while. Everything else has been kind of hard.
Berger swung through that one, Darren. He very anxious to catch up to that one.
He could have probably swung around the second time at it. It was so far out in front of it.
Adams pitch. Berger tries to check it. Call strike two.
They went around too much, and again, they came back with the same pitch. This time the location from Adams was much better. It was down and away from Berger.
Great crowd in here today for this game, and we'll have a good one tonight for Somerset and Tage Creek. All that action right here on PrepSpin.com digital network. Here's the Adams pitch, and that's going to be just missed outside and a little low, it looked like, from up here in the press box. We're just off of the plate, just a tad over to the third base side.
And if we were right behind home plate, we couldn't see because of the umpire and the catcher.
Yep. Here's the 1-2. Adams wind to pitch. Ball hit out foul toward right field, out of play. Well out of play into the stands over there. And I'll tell you, you got the chairback seats all the way down past first base and third base, and then it opens up here at Kentucky Proud Park with just a cement area where you can sit.
That's a place where you can bring a lawn chair, you can rent one yourself, or a blanket if you want to sit there.
1-2 pitch, and that's the ball outside.
I like the way they laid the field out here, though. If you look at both the chairback seats that we're looking at all the way down, they are both all in shade except for a couple of seats there on the third base side. But for the most part, where the sun's located at the high sky, they're in shade.
The house that Doug Flynn built.
He's not listening. He's on the air with the big club.
Ball hit out toward left center field and diving and drops the ball. Left fielder Doe. Here comes one run. It's 3-3. And going to third base will be Dover Spike, and we're tied at 3. Left fielder Doe, but he couldn't come up with it out in left field.
Well, Igo was the guy, the left fielder. He stumbled right before he started his dive. If he had a more fluent pass to the baseball, he may have come up with that baseball.
Yeah, if he wasn't stumbling and lost his footing, as you said, Darren, he might have caught it. But runners at first and third, and Beechwood has tied it up here in the top half of the 7th inning against Montgomery. And Seth Adams pitching, the coach coming out, and we may have seen enough of Mr. Adams.
I think that's Coach Varney himself.
He's going to talk to his ace pitcher. 1 out. I go thinking, man, if I hadn't slipped or tripped or whatever I did, I would have had the ball because it hit in his glove and then came out, Darren.
Right, and they're going to make a pitching change, I believe. I think Seth Adams is done and going to third base.
So we are going to have a change, and
Jacobs is coming in for first base to pitch.
The other outstanding pitcher. So we'll take a break here on the Mingy Beach Turkey Game of the Week. Come back and tell you about Tyler Jacobs after this on the Mingy Beach Turkey Game of the Week.
Pitching change, as you see on your screen, in the middle of the screen there, the left-hander, Tyler Jacobs, comes in for the 14th time this year. He's thrown 58 innings. He's got a 1.33 earned run average, giving up 44 hits, 19 runs, 11 of them earned. He's walked 26, struck out 59. He has a record of 7-1 on the season with 2 saves. Right now he's trying to get a hold here on Beechwood as they have tied it up with a run here in the top of the 7th inning, and runners at first and third and 1 out.
Jackson Knoll at the plate for Beechwood. Dover Spike at third, Burgers at first. He knocked in the tying run, and that pitch is a call strike. This young man has great stuff. 7-1 record, as Darren said, and he has an outstanding breaking ball. We saw that on the first pitch.
And we did, and I think Knoll was expecting a heater because that's all he did was warm it up, was throw heat. The first thing he did was drop an Uncle Charlie on him.
Jacobs, and here comes a runner.
Suicide squeeze,
and it's going to be foul ball, so we have to go back.
That is a great call by Coach Kevin Gray with 1 out. First off, you don't fret of the batter missing the sign and swinging away because he's batting from the left side, and your runner's not going to run into it. Dover Spike is not going to run into a bat being swung full bore.
Swing and a miss. And there is one huge strikeout for Tyler Jacobs.
Third time tonight, Knoll has struck out, twice of Adams and now with Jacobs.
Brings up Clay Trusty, catcher.
Tell you what, we thought this might be a good game, and then we thought maybe Beechwood, the way they hit the baseball, might eventually get to Montgomery County, but give Seth Adams credit. A real gritty performance on the mound for Montgomery County.
Jacobs, a wind and a breaking ball, and I tell you what. That was a great pitch by Jacobs.
That one was the 12-6 breaking pitch. He's got another one he threw on the first pitch to Knoll, which looks to be a slider, was a little bit tighter spin to it. That one, 12-6.
Pitch from Jacobs, and that's going to just miss inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, runners at the corners, first and third. Tie ball game, 3-3 here in the top half of the 7th inning. Montgomery County and Beechwood at the semi-state tournament. Tates Creek and Somerset later tonight here on the prep spin. Wind, and that pitch catches the outside corner. That's a breaking ball, and I tell you what.
That's a backdoor breaking play.
Exactly, a backdoor breaking ball, and it caught that corner. And Beechwood doesn't think it did, but it did.
Yeah, Trusty gave up on it because it thought it was going to be outside, and it came back in and nipped the outside corner. Good pitch by Jacobs.
1-2, 2 outs. And just missed outside. He came with a fastball that time.
He may have turned that fastball over a little bit because it broke away from the hitter, Trusty.
He's a right-handed hitter. Jacobs a left-handed pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at first and third for Beechwood. They have just tied this game up. Johnson came in to score in front of a Berger knockout to left field. It was a great effort by the left fielder, Trevor Igo, but he dropped the ball.
Both sides, crowds really into this game.
And that's going to be ball 3, full count.
That was a good stop by Hunley there as the pitch hit the dirt.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This is the money ball right here.
Runner on first will be off with the pitch, so anything hitting the gap, he will at least be at third.
Trusty at the plate. The wind and the pitch. He struck him out. Home plate umpire with a delayed call as he rings up Trusty. He struck out Knoll and Trusty, big strikeouts as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Beechwood 3, Montgomery 3. Beechwood got a run on 1 hit. 2 men left on base after 6.5. It is 3-3. Braxton Hunley, Trevor Igo, and Tyler Jacobs, 8-9-1 here, facing Carter Noah for the Beechwood Tigers. We're tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th.
You know, there's a couple of things we haven't talked about. The effort by Seth Adams from Montgomery. What about Carter Noah?
Oh, yeah, he's been outstanding.
He's not been sharp by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think, but he has really fought through some adversity out there on the mound for Beechwood.
That was a strike inside corner in the second pitch, and he hit him. So he hits Hunley. He'll go down to first, hit by the pitch. We're looking into the Beechwood bullpen, and
nobody there. They had somebody up earlier in the ball game, but got him back in here now. And we're going to get a – nope, they're going to have Hunley on for running for himself, it looks like.
Yeah, coach is talking to Hunley. He represents not the go-ahead run, the winning run in this ball game.
And you've got some guys down at the bottom of the order that can handle the bat, including the guy coming up behind him, and Trevor Igo.
Yeah, they're going to try to get Hunley down to second, maybe bunt him down there, Darren.
Yep. Beechwood expects the bunt. They have the third baseman, Knoll, in on the infield part of this all-turf field.
Fire over to first. Back in time will be...
Well, Noah doesn't get turned completely around, it doesn't look like there with that front foot.
Hunley had to dive back in. Trevor Igo bunts in front of the plate. It's going to be a foul ball. I believe that's what the home plate umpire called. Foul, and bring back the batter. That will be Igo, and send Mr. Braxton Hunley back to first base.
Tell you what, Knoll is down the throat of Igo at third base. Kind of reminds me back of the 76 World Series when Pete Rose just dared Mickey Rivers to swing the bat. Pete would start, though, about halfway down the line at
and
third.
It worked. It worked.
It worked. He looked at Rivers and said, go ahead.
There's a call
good
strike outside corner. Good pitch by Mr. Carter Noah.
Tell you what. That's my catchphrase. I tell you what.
No balls, 2 strikes with nobody out. Hunley out at first base for Montgomery County. 3-3 ball game here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch out, throw down to first. They got him into that rundown. As they throw to second, goes back to first, and they're going to flip it, and he's safe as he gets back in safe. Catcher tagged him, and Trustees thought he was out.
First base umpire had he had a perfect angle on it. And the pitching coach for Beechwood, you know what? The umpire gave him a lot of room. Came out and he's fired up, throwing his clipboard down. And the umpire's showing some restraint here.
They thought they had him picked off, and they did. That was a good running there by Hunley. He ran almost to second base. They finally threw the ball, and as soon as they threw the ball, he made a dash back to first base and barely beat that throw.
And nobody had to back up. Trusty, the catcher, had to come down. That's what Coach Gray was hollering at his pitcher, Carter Noah. He said, son, you're supposed to be the one backing up first base in a rundown with a first baseman.
The only bad thing about that is I think Dover Spike held on the ball a bit too long.
Yeah, well the
Should've
theory
thrown the
is
ball
you're running back to the bag he came from. You don't want him going and advancing.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hunley's still out. A first throw over there, and good throw by Carter Noah. Good pickoff move by Noah.
Well, Hunley made the cardinal sin as a base runner. When you're the guy trying to get to the base being sacrificed over, you wait till the ball has been bunted down on the ground before you ever make a move to the next base.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Igo with Tyler Jacobs, the 500 hitter, who's 0 for 3 in this game on deck, so he's due. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Noel comes running in from third, and pitcher Carter Noah steps off the pitching mound.
Now Noel going to back up a little bit, even with 2 strikes. Igo's still going to try to get the bunt down.
Gets a bunt down, and it's a great bunt. Pitcher fields throws the first and going to second base.
Wow.
That was a great bunt.
Yeah, they had the second baseman going to cover the bag at first base. Dover Spike never left the first base area, so really the second baseman for Beechwood has been covering second, and the shortstop Odom's has been covering third. If Hundley was alive, he could have ran all the way from second, coming all the way around, and been at third base with the winning run.
Meyer Patrick now will come in to run for Hundley. Meyer Patrick.
Been the courtesy runner all day till just now.
And he's all of 5'3" and a freshman.
And looks maybe 100 pounds soaking wet.
But you know what? In baseball, it doesn't matter.
You're right.
It does not matter.
Look at Freddie Patek.
Yep. He was only 5'4".
Erstad, the shortstop, longtime shortstop for the Angels.
Look at a great player from the Astros right now.
Oh, yeah.
5'5".
Altuve, yeah, Altuve.
Altuve, he's only, 5'5".
Yeah.
3-3 ball game. Patrick representing at the plate, and
it's actually
they
Dyer. They walk
Jacobs.
Yeah. Don't want to deal with Jacobs.
Yep. Jacobs at first. Dyer at the dish.
Dyer does have a hit today, though. He's 1 for 3.
Yeah, that was generous scoring on that hit, too.
I agree.
So runners at first and second. Dyer watches a bound up. Good play by Trusty.
But the run, Jacobs doesn't matter other than the fact you set up a double play possibility.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, 3-3 ball game. Runners at first and second for Montgomery, and that's going to be a ball a little bit low. So if you lose Dyer, then you load him up.
Have 2 balls and a strike, I believe, right now on Dyer.
Yep.
Big responsibility. Coach Varney showing a lot of faith in a freshman out there running the bases, being the winning run.
That's Meyer Patrick out there. 3-3 ball game. 3 runs, 6 hits for Beechwood. 3 runs, 5 hits for Montgomery as they're batting here in the bottom of the 7th inning. High school baseball, we only play 7. Well, we may play more tonight. But runners at first and second. Montgomery looking for the walk-off here in the bottom of the 7th.
Could get bonus baseball.
Dyer at the dish. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. A ball fouled out down the first baseline.
Good at bat here by Dyer.
Great at bat. Staying alive. That's what they tell you. If it's close to the plate, stay alive up there.
Both teams for the next game here, Tates Creek down the left field line, they're awaiting. Somerset over here in the shade, awaiting their time here on Kentucky Proud Park.
Ball hit out toward Odom, the shortstop. He's going to run to second, throw to first. Double play! What a play by Odom. He said, I can get him at second, and I'm going to throw him out at first. I'm going to do it myself. It goes to shortstop unassisted to first. And a twin killer, and we head to the 8th inning. Montgomery County 3, Beechwood 3. We're going extra innings, folks, here on PrepSpin.com, the Mingy Beef Jerky Game of the Week.
Yeah.
We go to the 8th inning here, and Beechwood, they will bring up to the
9-1-2.
9-1-2. And it looks like we do have a pinch hitter
For Beechwood. Number 8.
Alexander Harper, 5'8" junior.
Harper on the year batting
Harper.
.316. 6 hits and 19 times to the plate.
But they're going to have trouble with this Jacobs kid in that breaking pitch.
Boy, he is nasty with that. Is it you or me this inning? It's me, right?
Yeah, you got
All
the
right,
8th.
first strike there to Harper. That's what I thought. Fastball outside corner. And that breaking pitch has enough distance between the miles per hour from it and the fastball. Makes it look like a.
If you stay off your cell phone there, you know.
No, that wasn't the problem. The problem was I couldn't remember if we were in the 7th or the 8th.
8th.
Harper lines this one down the first baseline foul. Somebody needs to get that. Oh, that's actually somebody facing down here. I thought it was a young boy down on the right field wall down there, but it's actually not. And Harper will move back into the right-hand batter's box. Jacobs in relief of Adams. Adams cannot win it, cannot lose it. He went 6 2/3 innings, or 6 1/3 innings, excuse me. Montgomery fans wanted Harper rung up and just off the inner side of the plate.
And Jacobs is sneaky with that fastball.
Well, that curveball, there's enough distance between his breaking pitches speed-wise and his fastball. It makes it look even faster than it probably really is. There's that breaking pitch again, swung on a foul down the first baseline by Harper.
Johnny Odom's on deck.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and we'll see the softball outfield again between Odom and Castleman.
Got some shout-outs real quick, guys. Caleb Spencer watching today says, awesome. Come on, Indians. Matt Stokes watching. And also Jesse Feltner says, awesome coverage. Loves Gary Ball.
Uh-oh.
Don't take it personally, Darren.
I just said, uh-oh. The 1-2. Again, grounded foul. And
I'm sure there's
down
a
the
lot
right
of
side.
I'm sure there's a lot of fans that love you. Too,
I know
Darren.
when William and I first started that middle school stuff, he and I would get all these shout-outs and stuff from teams out in the mountains and telling us what they would bring for tailgating food and everything else. And we gained 5 pounds just listening to what was on the list.
Yep.
Pitches down and away, and we go 2-2.
I think this fall we can do that middle school championships again. Does it work out for us, schedule? Yeah. I think it did work. I think it does work out this year.
The 2-2 on the way to Harper. Grounded off the glove of Jacobs. And
Harper's on.
An infield single for Harper.
That is important right there, Darren, when you can get your number 9 hole hitter on base.
Well, he was a pinch hitter for Hamilton.
Yeah, that's what I mean. In the 9 hole.
Who was 0 for 2. A pop-up and a strikeout
but
this
he was
afternoon.
in the 9 hole.
Also want to remind folks at home they're getting ready to see the plate eclipse, if you will.
Yeah.
With the shadow getting ready to cross home plate.
That's right. Get that plate eclipse. You know, William, last couple years ago, he did the solar eclipse. And how many viewers? You had like 500,000 or something like that? I mean, he even streamed the solar eclipse, Darren.
So it'll be back to the top of the order. John Odom, who's 0 for today, 0 for 4.
Yeah.
They got him picked off. They run him towards second base, now back to first base. He stays alive. He eats now to Fuller, who will run him back towards first. The throw and the tag out at first base by the shortstop for Montgomery County.
Beechwood's coach wanted a little bit of a hard tag on that
Well,
one.
he wanted obstruction on the shortstop who was at first base area after running Harper back.
It was Hamilton who was running.
So Hamilton goes on the out from Hamilton. It goes 1 to 3 to 6 to 1 to 5 back to number 6.
Can you
One
repeat
out.
that?
No, I had to play it in my head first time.
Yeah.
And I got I think right. I'll try it. 1 to 3 to 6 to 1 to 5 back to 1.
My goodness.
On the put out.
That's a lot.
Bottom line is 1 out.
Yeah.
And he hit. Nope.
I thought it hit him
I did too, but
the way he reacted was.
must have bounced.
Yeah, I think it did.
Before it hit him. So it's
1 out here.
1 ball, 1 strike. And
top of the 8th.
That's a good lesson for young people to know when you get in a rundown, pitch on the outside corner, fastball, a strike. When you get in a rundown defensively, if you're the defensive team, running back to the base he came from and always show him the baseball because he never knows when you're going to throw it.
That's exactly. Boy, I'm impressed with this Tyler Jacobs.
Oh,
I mean, I was impressed with the grittiness of the starter,
yeah,
Seth Adams,
yeah.
but I'm just as impressed with Tyler Jacobs.
Well, Jacobs is sneaky fast, as you said. He's got tremendous movement on his pitches. The 2-2 going to Odom. Ground ball over the head. Nice charging play. Safe.
That's just the speed of Odom. Johnny Odom is just so fast. That was a good play. The shortstop had to come all the way over near second base to make that play.
Dyer, because there is no second baseman in this alignment for Montgomery County defensively. And it brings up Logan Castleman.
The only one that could probably make that play is Jacobs, the pitcher. If he backs up and is able to grab that ball down,
right,
he's probably got him.
That's one of those turf infield hits. But if there's a second baseman in his regular position,
yeah,
it's an easier play for him because he's going to be closer to the baseball.
And he's going to be charging the baseball instead of running.
So 1 out, infield single, and Castleman fouls it back. Castleman this afternoon, 1 for 1. He's walked a couple of times, singled in the third, then lined out to the first baseman, Jacobs.
Stole a base in the third inning.
Who was out in right center field. Boy, they almost
picked him off again.
I tell you, Odom was off and running and all of a sudden realized, wait a minute.
He's not throwing the ball.
He said Jacobs hadn't picked his leg up yet, and I'm going to second base. Where am I going? If you're Odom, the last thing you want to do is be the second player picked off in the same inning.
3-3 in the top of the 8th. They wanted a balk there, and I'm not so sure that shouldn't have been.
I'm not so sure it shouldn't. And
the Beechwood coach is going to come out and talk to the
out on the field from the third base coach's box.
Cannot believe that balk was not called.
Yeah, it looked like he double stepped to first base from where we were sitting. The guy who had the best angle of it, the second base umpire.
Seth Adams is going to come in and talk to Jacobs, and it's going to go back to third. Now, that's going to give the third base coach for Beechwood more time to come in and talk to the home plate umpire.
Yep.
You used to umpire, Darren, and I used to umpire. Was that a ball?
I think so. I thought he double stepped that right foot. I thought he made the one step going to first base and then doubled it again real quickly. May have happened so fast the umpires never saw it. We have the vantage point of being way back up here.
Yep.
0-1 to Castleman. This one lined into the screen.
So he's behind on the count. No ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here, top of the 8th, with the go-ahead run out at first base for Beechwood, and that's Johnny Odom.
You know, you and I were eating, or not eating, we were at Rafferty's and watching some of the game of the Cubs and Astros, that young lady, and he did it again. That might be part of his move. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the pickoff move. And
yeah.
You're talking about the ball that hit the little girl.
I think, hit the 4-year-old girl.
I think she's okay.
She's okay. No concussion symptoms so far. Never lost consciousness. As Odom is off and running, Hundley has no shot. Odom got a running start on Jacobs.
And he's still perfect on the season, stolen bases. 28 of 28 now. He was 27 of 27.
He had no shot, Hundley did, of getting him. He went on first move and threw his head down. And
now with
go ahead and run in scoring position with 1 out.
Dangerous guy at the plate.
So the pickoff of Harper really helps. Just missed the outside corner. Would have been a big strikeout if he'd gotten that call.
One thing we know is Castleman has a great eye at the plate.
He does. He's taking some close pitches in this game.
He's walked 32 times this season.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Castleman. Odom, the lead runner, the runner at second with the lead run here in the top of the 8th inning. Jacobs goes high.
Well, it does open first base up right now, but you got Hutton on deck and Johnson after him.
And Hutton is 0 for as well this afternoon.
So he's due, as they say in baseball.
Long overdue.
Long due.
The full count to Castleman. Ground ball right side, base hit.
Here comes the
Odom's on his way in. He'll score with a lead run. It's 4-3 Beechwood.
That was strictly Castleman going where the pitch was, outside. He knew nobody was at second. He gets the RBI single and knocks in Johnny Odom.
Yeah.
And Odom on the season, that is his 64th run scored.
And Castleman, that is his 58th run batted in.
Yep. Beechwood leads 4-3 here in the top of the 8th inning.
And it's not over yet. Castleman is a candidate to steal. He's already got a stolen base today. He's 34 of 38. Breaking pitch in for a strike on number 3. That is Hutton, who is 0 for 4, as we mentioned.
But he's due.
Ground ball back to the mound. A pair of pop-ups. One to first base, one to the shortstop, and the ground ball to the shortstop.
Johnson on deck. Strike on the outside corner. Johnson's on deck. He has scored 2 of the 4 Beechwood runs.
And I'm sitting here watching Huff at second base. He wasn't even ready for the pitch from Jacobs. He was standing like he is right now.
0-2 pitch coming to Hutton.
High as Castleman bluffs going.
Well, you got to watch that pitch. I mean, if you're Jacobs, you've had a great game, but you throw that one way outside, that's one that Castleman could have stolen second on.
Yeah, well, Castleman was going back to first base on the move to the home by Jacobs. Castleman shortened his lead a lot. Pitch just off the outer half. When we go to 2-2 now.
Montgomery County has brought pretty much Mount Sterling here in this game today. Look at the crowd down the third base
quite
line.
a bit of people with them from over in Mount Sterling.
Last one out, turn the lights out, right?
And roll the sidewalks up.
Yep.
The 2-2 grounded back to the mound. Jacobs looks at second. Will go to first to get the certain out. Castleman to second. And Hutton retired. Jacobs to Fuller.
So, will they put Johnson on again for the 4th time
they
tonight?
Do.
Yes.
And there's runners at first and second.
That's the 4th time they intentionally walk Devin Johnson, a .495 hitter.
And he's 1 for 1. In case you're wondering, in the bottom of the inning, Montgomery County has 3, 4, and 5 due up.
Some dangerous
So they go
hitters.
right through the middle of the order. Warming up in the bullpen for Beechwood down there. Can't see the number as Jacobs will set and Castleman dancing around out on second base. Breaking pitch is a strike to Dover Spike.
4 runs, 9 hits now for Beechwood. 3 runs, 5 hits for Montgomery County.
Well, Beechwood's not flashy. They just play solid, fundamental baseball.
And did we mention they got a great shortstop?
Yeah, and Odom, and he scored the go-ahead run in this inning after singling with 1 out.
I mean, with Castleman, Johnson, those guys, you get overshadowed if you're Johnny Odom, and he's one of the best shortstops I've seen.
Batting .479, how you can be overshadowed, I don't have a clue.
But he is, because those guys are Castleman's hitting .619,
yep,
and Johnson's hitting .495, almost 500.
Yep. Maybe number 9. If it's number 9, that would be Brett Holliday. If it's number 8, it's Alexander Harper, but I doubt it's Harper. He pinch hit, so it must be number 9. This one grounded to the shortstop, Dyer. Over to Fuller, almost threw it away, kind of short-armed it over there. Fuller able to hang on for the out. But in the inning, Beechwood takes the lead for the first time today. They get a run on 3 hits. There were no Montgomery County errors, and there were 2 left. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Montgomery County needs a run to get even on the Meagy Jerky High School Game of the Week. Not.
Brett Holliday in to try to close it out for Beechwood. Let's look at his numbers. He's pitched in 48 2/3 innings, given up 49 hits, 17 runs, 14 earned runs, has walked 12, struck out 23. His record is sterling, 7-0. He's not been beaten this year. ERA spectacular, 2.03. He'll be facing here the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Fuller, Devin Johnson, the other Devin Johnson, and Jay Eads here in this bottom half of the 8th. 4-3, Beechwood on top. Montgomery needs a run to send it into more extra innings, or Holiday in pitching for the Beechwood Tigers out of Northern Kentucky, the 9th region. Montgomery County out of the 10th.
Well, believe it or not, Carter Noah can be the winning pitcher in this.
That's one way to get it.
That's one way to get it. He didn't have his best stuff this afternoon, but he gutted it out through 7 complete. He and Seth Adams, the starter from Montgomery County, both outstanding efforts this afternoon here in Lexington.
And Tyler Jacobs has done a great job in there, too, for Montgomery.
It'll be Luke Fuller leading off for Montgomery County. Fuller this afternoon, 1 for 3. Ground ball to third in the first inning. Doubled and scored leading off in the 4th.
Has not hit a home run this year.
And flew out to right in the 6th. And he takes the first pitch ball from Holiday. Holiday, a 5'11" freshman. This one hit into the right side. Dover spike into foul territory. Makes the catch, and there's one gone. So 1 out, and it brings up Devin Johnson, who's 0 for 3. A pair of strikeouts and a fly ball out. His last time up, hit it on the nose. Right at the left fielder, Devin Johnson.
Well, I'm loving this mixer that William Moorfield has brought into the press box here at Kentucky Proud Ballpark, and that's going to be our mixer in football.
First pitch to Johnson, a changeup swung on and missed. Somebody asked me one time, when's the last time you saw a freshman pitch? Well, it came in a big game, and I'll finish the thought here. Devin Johnson takes low, 1-1.
3 home runs. Johnson leads the Montgomery County.
Take a poke and get one out of here. 2010, the state championship game. Harrison County, Pleasure Ridge Park. They both pitched freshman starters, and they both went deep into the ball game. So, freshmen back when we were younger, Gary, no big deal, right?
Yep.
Not today, it isn't. A ball and 2 strikes. Holiday ahead of Johnson. This one lined into left field. It'll be in front of the other Devin Johnson for a hit. First hit of the day for the Devin Johnson from Mount Sterling.
That was a good bit of hitting
number
there
6 for
by Devin Johnson. He knew that he stayed with that pitch. He didn't try to pull it. It was to the outside, and he just smacked it out to left field, the right-handed hitter.
And now the pinch runner, which is now burning as the courtesy runner for either the pitcher or the catcher, is Trey Carroll. So he's officially now in the ball game as a pinch runner, not a courtesy runner. So you want a better runner on the base pass, and Carroll evidently is the best base runner for
And Jay
Coach
Eads
Varney
up there, he scored 2 of the 3 runs for Montgomery.
takes the first pitch, Hackett, a fastball from Holiday, and comes up empty. This afternoon,
He was
Eads
involved
is-
in that interference.
Yep, 1 for 2. Reached on a hit by a pitch and then a single and a ground ball out.
Back in the 6th, he was involved in that interference where he scored the run.
Which was another one of those tough calls, and it you kind of wish you had a rule book or at least an umpire up here in the press box talking to you, telling you exactly what they may have seen.
I thought we had an umpire up here.
Well, we got 2 of us, but that's why we're not doing it anymore, because we didn't know what we were doing, evidently.
Well, it's been a long time for me. It's been about 30 years since I umpired.
It's been about 15.
I'm sure
for
there's
me.
been a lot of rules changes since I umpired.
Oh, I know there has been. Ball and 2 strikes now to Eads with 1 out. The tying run at first for Montgomery County.
1-2 pitch here coming to Eads.
Pitch is down and away. 2-2.
Got Seth Adams on deck.
Who has been in the middle of 2 of the 3 Montgomery County runs. Actually, he's been in the middle of all 3 of them in some shape, form, or fashion.
2 runs in the
He's driven in 2 of the 3 runs.
1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th for Beechwood.
Eads swings and misses. And Holiday strikes him out. The first strikeout for the freshman. And we go back to the top, or down to the number 6 hitter, Seth Adams.
This late in the season, junior, this late, it's June 1st. Really, Holiday's a sophomore.
Correct. Probably been in some bigger, in some big ball games in their regular season schedule. Adams is
Beechwood
1 for
fans
2.
on their feet.
Pitch is high to Adams.
Somerset and Tates Creek, they'll battle later tonight. I don't know that it'll
Supposed
start
to be at 7 o'clock.
I don't know that it'll start at 7.
Nope. Pitch on the inside corner to Adams. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Probably more like 7:15.
Tell you what, I like the composure of this Holiday, a freshman out there on the mound. He's not even acting like it's any big deal. In the dirt, nice stop by Trusty. 2-1.
He's behind now to Adams with Ty Eads on deck.
Ty Eads, if he gets a chance, is 1 for 2.
Time called at the plate by home plate umpire Matt Brandenburg.
2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch is a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Montgomery County down to their final strike.
Beechwood 37-1, trying to get back to Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
Adams takes low in a full count.
And you can bet your bottom dollar Holiday wanted to strike.
Yep, and it was close.
Full count, 2 outs. The runner will be moving.
So Carroll will be off and moving with the pitch. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed, and Beechwood's won it 4-3 over Montgomery County in a thrilling 8-inning affair here at Kentucky Kentucky Proud Park.
It took extra innings, but Beechwood finally pulls it out 4-3. It's really sad that Seth Adams had to end that striking out because he pitched such a great game and was such an instrumental part of the offense with those first 2 runs. Beechwood Tigers, they move on. They win it 4-3 in 8 innings here at Kentucky Proud Park. And Darren will have Somerset, Tates Creek will have a 3-man crew in that one. William Warfield's going to have some play-by-play in that game as well. Get to listen to the King of Stream call some baseball. He does a great job on baseball, by the way. And this one goes to Beechwood 4-3, but who would have thunk it? I mean, Montgomery's cruising along, 2-0 lead, going all the way into the 5th inning. They had a 2-0 lead, and then Beechwood got 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, and 1 in the 8th to win it 4-3.
They were 2 outs away from handing Beechwood just their 2nd loss of the season, and they just couldn't close the door and close the deal this afternoon here in Lexington. And the Tigers of Beechwood move on to the quarterfinal round. They'll get the Tigers of Breckenridge County on Wednesday afternoon over at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, home of the Lexington Legends. That game will begin at 5:30 on June the 5th.
Well, 4-3, Beechwood wins this one in 8 innings. It went extra innings, and it'll be Somerset Tates Creek coming up in about a half an hour here on Prep Spin. So the final score, Beechwood 4 and Montgomery County 3. They fall out of this semi-state. Beechwood advances to the state tournament next week. Coming up, Tates Creek and Somerset here on Prep Spin. For my teammates, William Moorfield, the King of String, Darren Douglas, this is Gary Ball. So long from Kentucky Proud Park. We'll be back with Tates Creek and Somerset in about half an hour here on PrepSpin.com.